to VidaneTV, and welcome to the new Smyrna Speedway World Series of eRacing, brought to you by Edgewater Screens and us truly, VidaneTV. Hello, everybody out there in the Facebook world, YouTube world, and wherever else you might be watching us. We are here for week 1, week 2, week 3 of 9 of the World Series of eRacing. My name is Wes Rowdy Hogue. In the production booth, is Paul Showtime Strickland. And of course, I have the voice of New Smyrna Speedway here with me, Ryan Stevens. Ryan, you're ready for a Wednesday night packed full of racing?
Absolutely, man. I'm excited. The last couple of weeks have been, some really intense racing here at the virtual New Smyrna Speedway. And here we are, week 3 already. And we've already had 2 great races with 2 different divisions. So here we are, night number 3, and we're bringing back the good old super late models. So I'm super excited. There's been a lot of great racing so far, and we'll get you guys all caught up here in the pre-show before we go racing tonight around 8 o'clock. We'll catch you up on the last couple of races and all the developments that have taken place over the last week. So, Wes, I'm excited, and it's going to be a great race tonight.
It is, Ryan, and just a couple storylines for for viewers that have not been here throughout the season and haven't caught every race. The first race, which was a street stock race or super stocks, was won by Anthony Sergi, and then we ran open wheel modifieds last week, and that was won by Ryan Matthews. So 2 different winners so far. We always do driver spotlights on our drivers at Vidane.net as well as Vidane TV on Facebook. We do a little segment on them, so you viewers and other drivers get to know these gentlemen, and we'll be doing that all throughout the season. So tonight we have 100 laps in the late models. We're going to have some heat racing. We're going to have some LCQs and then a feature. If everything goes as scheduled, the top 3 from the heat races will move on, and then the winners of the last chance qualifiers will move on. If everything goes right, Ryan, because we know that iRacing likes to throw us a wrench.
We know that things will change over the last couple of weeks. We think we know what we're talking about, and then at the last minute everything changes. But it should be fun. We're going to have a single car qualifying, which it happens on the server. We'll lock in the top 10 qualifiers there. We'll transfer the rest of the guys in through some heat racing, and then we'll have those couple of last chance qualifiers or consolation races, whatever you want to call them, to fill out the field. So only 24, 25 of the best are going to be able to start here tonight. And as Wes alluded to, we've had 2 races already here in this series. And the caveat of this eWorld Series is each week we bring in a different series. We have 3 rotating classes. We started with the street stocks and the super stocks, as we like to call them here at New Smyrna Speedway. And then we had the tour modifieds last week. So 2 completely different classes. So it's kind of hard to tell who's the favorite for tonight's super late model endeavor, but that is what we are here to find out tonight. As Wes mentioned, Anthony Sergi won the race when we ran the street stocks, and then Ryan Matthews, who won the inaugural Esports 100 here at New Smyrna Speedway, which we broadcast on our Facebook page. So I think he might be the favorite going in, but we'll have to see what's going to happen. Again, all the qualification action coming up here at 8 o'clock to set the field, and then 100 laps for the main event. This is week 3, so I think we have some of the bugs worked out, some of the kinks kind of knocked out, and we're ready to go.
And Ryan, cool thing that we're doing here as well. For one, since these drivers have experience here at this track, we didn't do any practice racing. Every other week, we've done a practice race or 2, but these drivers have raced this car at this track before, so they didn't get as many practice laps in as possibly in the past. So that's going to be something to watch out for and make sure that all the rust is knocked off.
Yeah, and I think that's okay, because we've been racing together now for 3-4 weeks. So most of the guys that are racing tonight have raced together, and it doesn't matter how many practice races you do, how many times you race. There's going to be some controversy here tonight. People are going to bump and bang, and they're going to be upset with somebody at the end of the night. But whether it's at the real racetrack or here online, that's short track racing.
Now, also, Ryan, we've been doing inverts, and it's been the top 5 inverting. The drivers have learned ways of getting around that and sandbagging. On iRacing, there's a tool you can use that allows you to see exactly how much time you are off from the leader at that time in qualifying. So We're
No
still
sandbagging tonight.
No, we're still doing inverts, but they're a secret invert. These drivers don't know, and we're not going to say it here because we know that maybe girlfriends might be watching, mom and dad, or even the drivers. So we're not going to let you know what the invert is until it's time to tell you what the invert is. So looking forward to that, Ryan, as well as just looking forward to seeing some of these new names. We got Dylan Canova, who raced with us in the Florida Pro Truck Series that races on Monday nights with us. He has showed up to give us a shot. I'm looking forward to see what he can do. We got some newer names. Kyle Brinson is back after his one race suspension after getting a little crazy in week one. So he's here to show off and try to redeem himself. Steven Hollinger, he's a Florida racer as well. He's known around Florida, as well as many, many more. And your typicals, your Jesse Powers, your Anthony Sergis, your Ryan Matthews, your Jimmy Frazier's. And speaking of Jesse Powers, shout out to AWS Roofing. They have become the supporting sponsor here at Vidane Racing, or VidaneTV / Vidane Racing. So they are the number one, and they have been rated the number one roofing company in Florida, over 30 years in the industry. They also travel outside of Florida. So AWS Roofing Services on Facebook, that's where you go. And shout out to Edgewater Screens, as you see up here. They are the title sponsor of this World Series of eRacing. Russell Bonanza, the owner there. You look up Edgewater Screens, and they are there for all of your screen needs. And Ryan, I got to say thank you to those back at the track, the whole Hart family, Andrew Hart and his parents, Rusty Marcus, giving us the go to go ahead and stream right here to your living rooms or your telephones from the new Smyrna Speedway Facebook page, which is really cool. I like seeing my face in all different places, but I also love seeing racing, fresh racing on New Smyrna's page.
Absolutely. Now you guys can catch the eWorld Series live on our New Smyrna Facebook page for the rest of this series. But make sure you follow VidaneTV, follow their YouTube, their Facebook, because they do racing pretty much every single night. So if you're looking for this e-racing entertainment to kind of keep you going through the week, VidaneTV has you covered. But yes, we are on the New Smyrna Facebook page, so shout out to all you guys watching there. We can't wait to be back racing. We are fighting. We're fighting to get things open once again. The latest update I can give you guys is we are working towards having an open practice in the coming days, and then getting back to racing under a limited capacity with fans. The thing we want to make sure is that we are able to open for our fans before we get going here. So we are working closely with the county to make sure that we follow all regulations, to make sure everything is a-okay, so that when we get back to racing, nothing bad happens, because we don't want to open the doors and then have to close them again. So we want to make sure once we open, we're good to go for the rest of the season. So we appreciate your patience, but I can assure you that we are working very hard and very close with our county officials to make sure that when we do open, it is done the proper way. So with that said, make sure you follow us here on Facebook. Make sure you're following our website. When we do have updates, we will put them out ASAP. And I think we can look forward to some good things here in the next couple of days. So in the meantime, you can join us on Wednesday nights for some e-racing. If that's not your thing, we will get the real racing going here ASAP. I guarantee you we will be on track here for 2020. We hate seeing these weekends go by. The weather's been so good, and that's just how luck would have it. We miss you all, and we can't wait to see all of our great racers and fans here in the next coming days. But Wes, as we get into tonight's e-race with the super late models, real quick, let's go over the top 5 in the point standings. This is a 9-week series, so the point standings have been accumulating. We've got 2 races in the books so far, and right now we have a tie atop the standings. So I want to get that out there for you guys, because you're going to want to watch Ryan Borgs and Ryan Matthews, both tied with 76 points coming into this evening. Eric Purcell is in 3rd. He is just 7 points back. And then we have Tanner Thomas rounding out our 4th position. Tanner, the son of New Smyrna regular Patrick Thomas. It says Patrick Thomas on your screen, but it is Tanner Racing. He's got 4th. And then Jeffrey Gabalt is running out the top 5. Then Nick Noggle is 6th. So we have a mix, West, right now of kind of iRacing stars and New Smyrna stars. So it's a nice mix, and that's what's making this so much fun. We have our New Smyrna guys, We have our iRacing guys, and we're going to see who's going to come out on top.
And I'm interested in seeing how these guys will do without any practice races. We're going to see if they're really needed or not. This is kind of a test for us admins to see if those practice races are needed in the future or not. Also, a little bit of update on this challenge that we're doing, this 9-week series. That middle race is typically the modifieds. However, there has been a change in the schedule because the modifieds did not seem to iRacer friendly, especially to those who are not as familiar with the sim. What we will be doing in between the street stock race and the late model race, so that means in 2 weeks, we're going to kind of make it random. Uh, we're going to let the drivers know, but not the fans yet. So you're going to see something different. The next 2 times we run that series, you're going to see a different car. You
All
might
right.
see some legends. You might see some wing sprints. You might see some front wheel drive or 4 cylinders. So you never know.
All right.
That's
So the surprises are still coming here during this 9 weeks. So we'll see the late models tonight, and then from what I understand, Wes, it's a mystery next week.
no. Next week is our street stocks.
Okay, so we're gonna do street stocks, and then we'll have a mystery surprise for you guys in 2 weeks.
Right,
okay.
and then we're back to super lates, and then street stocks one more time, mystery, and then super lates to finish it off.
All right, so we got our tour mods in last week. If you didn't join us here, if you didn't catch the broadcast, you can go back to VidaneTV's YouTube and watch that. Once you're done tonight, don't click off now. Don't go watch that now because you'll miss tonight's action, the live action. But you can go back and watch the last 2 weeks on VidaneTV's YouTube. So next week will be street stocks, and then we'll have a little bit of a mystery for you in week number 5. So we're gonna spice things up. And guys, here's what's so fun about this iRacing, esports, whatever you want to call it. We can do that. We can mix things up. We can make it more entertaining. We can cater to the drivers to try to put on the best show possible.
We can, and that's what's cool about this is I get to play race director with the help of course Kyle Young, but I get to play the Lord of New Smyrna Speedway on the virtual side of it. We get to choose this, but also we get the driver's input. A lot of the decisions that are determined is asked to the drivers. How do you think about this? What do you think about that? And we ask the drivers that show up each and every week. So we want them to be happy. We want them to be competitive and have some fun. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And for us, Ryan, and if anybody listened to the race that we called Monday night, we have fun. We have a lot of fun doing this.
You know, so, when I first got on here for the esports 100 that we did, kind of thinking it was a one-off thing. At that point, I really thought we'd be racing at this point. So to me, that was kind of like, all right, here's a one-off race to fill some time. But now, the last couple of weeks here with the eWorld Series, and then doing the Florida Pro Trucks with you guys, it's kind of been a fun way to stay in race ready shape. So that when we are ready to go back racing, I still remember how to do this thing. But it's also been a lot of fun. It's just something to entertain you throughout the week. This does not replace in any way our actual racing or any actual racing, but we're just doing this. We're bringing this to you guys just for something fun to do. In the meantime, as we're all kind of still hunkered down during
Ryan,
this time.
It's funny you say that because we actually broadcast for leagues up in the Northeast, like in New Hampshire, as well as in Canada, that are actually using this as their substitute because they've been shut down for the rest of the season. So what they're doing is they're charging the same stuff, entry fees, as well as the same purses that they would be doing in real life. So thankfully we haven't gotten to that point. We don't have to do that.
Yes.
But there are some places that are doing that. And I'm very thankful that we at least have some fresh content to put on for the new Smyrna Speedway fans. And also for some of you to see some of your favorite drivers and maybe be introduced to other drivers, such as a Ryan Borgs, who's a kart racer, or a Ryan Matthews, that's a Legends racer in other parts of the country.
Yeah, and throughout tonight, we'll the server is filling up. We're gonna have a big server tonight, so qualifying and the heat races and all that going to be very important. But throughout the broadcast, between Wes and myself, we'll have tidbits of information on all the drivers that you'll see racing tonight.
Hey, Ryan, I just got a bonus in.
What do we got?
From Russell Bonanza.
Breaking news. Yes, our title sponsor.
Hey, Wes, you know what, Russell? I'm going to call him real quick. How about we call Russell real fast? how will we do that? I'm going to let them say this. I'm going to let him say this out loud. So let me see if I can get his number.
Get our title sponsor on board here, on the
Let's
line, I should say. And big thank
let's
you to
see.
Edgewater Screen for
We got
sponsoring
a
this
little
whole
bit. We got a
series.
little bit of time, so let's have him call me real quick, and I'm going to have him mention this live to everybody.
Sounds good.
So
we'll see if we can't dial Russell up here. Russell's a good guy. He's been a supporter of short track racing in general for the last few years, and now he's hopping on board this too. So the guy just loves racing.
He does. He does. I just asked him to call me.
Here's the beauty of live TV, folks.
Yeah.
So we'll get Russell to dial in real quick. While he calls, Weston, feel free to jump in at any point. We'd like to thank some of our actual New Smyrna sponsors here who are doing everything they can during this time.
All right, guys, we got
him. So we'll get back to this. Go ahead.
Hey, Russell, Wes Rowdy Hogue here. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Hey, doing well. We got you live here on the pre-race show. The owner of Edgewater Screen, he is the title sponsor here. You just sent me a pretty awesome message. Go ahead and tell us live what you just sent me.
Yeah, I was just watching the broadcast and on week 3 here, and I just decided to for the winner tonight, a round of golf for 2 at Hidden Lakes Golf Course located in New Smyrna. I just played there. The course is in great shape. I just played there last week. Actually shot an 84. No joke. I like to play golf. It's a really good place. I actually got married there to my beautiful wife. So would like to donate a round of golf for 2 for the winner tonight. It's a special bonus. You guys, I know you guys are out there getting sim ready and all that stuff. So I'd like to see me out there at the golf course as well.
Man, how awesome is that? And I'm going to kind of, Russell, because we do have some drivers that aren't exactly local. I'm going to kind of throw into that. How about go to the winner or the highest finishing driver that's local, and then I can make it down there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If they want to donate it or whatever, give it to one of their whatever you guys want to do with it.
Man, that's awesome.
For the taking.
All right, and we got a couple minutes here still. Why don't you give Edgewater a shout out, Edgewater Screen a shout out. Tell everybody how they can reach you real fast.
Yeah, you can reach us by phone, 386-428-8490. You can check us out on Facebook, Edgewater Screen. You can Google us and hit us up on in the yellow pages. We always like the yellow pages for the people that aren't using the computer and the phone and everything like that. And I really appreciate everything that's been going on. We've been staying real busy during this time, and we're here. We've been family owned and operated since 1968. So we'll come out and rescreen anything you need.
All right. Thank you so much for your support. Hopefully we put on a great show for you. Man, that is awesome what you're doing. We're very appreciative.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward for the trucks next Monday.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we had a blast, man. I can't wait for them too. Those guys are some characters, and tonight you're gonna see one heck of a show as well.
That was an entertaining race. I appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that was Russell Bonanza, the owner of our title sponsor, Edgewater Screen. So that's the cool thing about doing this live, Ryan. We can dial up.
That was unexpected, and now the highest finishing local driver tonight is going to go get their butt kicked from Russell on the links. And you know what? That's just a good excuse to go drink some beer. So that'll be a fun prize. So thank you to Russell and Edgewater Screen. And Wes, if it's okay, I'm going to go over some of these sponsors here from the new Smyrna Speedway. As the 2020 season getting shortened up here just a little bit, but I want to let everybody know about some of our sponsors here at the racetrack. Big shout out.
While you're doing that, I'm going to let the drivers know about this. So you go ahead and do that.
Sounds good. All right, we'd like to give a shout out to Dustin's Barbecue. They are still open right now for takeout, and they're offering their normal menu items. So I know a lot of local people, probably getting sick of cooking your own food at this point. So go ahead and give Dustin's Barbecue a ring. You can look them up online on Facebook, all that good stuff. Also, one of our newest sponsors, Persimmon Hollow, awesome brewery in DeLand. They are still open right now for takeout from noon to 8 p.m. So please support them. Get some good drinks. I'm sure everybody's tired of drinking their Miller Lights and their Busch Lights or whatever it may be. But Persimmon Hollow, if you're looking for some craft beers, they are still open right now for takeout. And of course, Skip's Boots. skipsboots.com right now running a site-wide sale, 60% off your boots. They have sales all the time. And so if you can't go into the showroom, you can check out Skip's Boots. That way you're looking A-okay here during this quarantine. And of course, we are a Miller-sponsored racetrack, so got to give a shout-out to our Miller Lights, White Claws, Coors Lights, all that good stuff. So with that said, you guys grab yourself a nice cold beer, get yourself some dinner, sit down on the couch with your family, and enjoy the second best thing to real racing, some sim racing with some of the Florida stars that you know and love to see race every single week. I want to give a couple more shout-outs to Daytona Dodge. They're a big partner with us here at New Smyrna. Got the Daytona Dodge pace car, of course, and we'll give a shout out to American Auto too and EJ, because we all miss EJ down at the racetrack. So you know what, we're missing everybody at the racetrack. But guys, if you are watching on our Facebook page, I'm sure when you saw it go live, you're hoping for some race updates. But we're gonna give you some actual racing here tonight, virtually, but you should enjoy it just the same. So Wes has been talking to the drivers, kind of letting them know about the extra prize being thrown out to Edgewater Screen, and we have a bunch of other special sponsors sponsoring the esports portion of the racing, which we'll talk about later on tonight as well. So Wes, is everybody good to go on your end? So it looks like he's still communicating.
All right, we're good. I had to get off the unmute button. Yeah,
okay,
everything's good to go. The drivers know what's on the line tonight. Jason Lester's definitely here.
Oh boy.
And we're ready to have some fun. So right now, Kyle Young is doing our drivers meeting as we speak. And that's about it. We're getting ready to get rock and roll.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we'll go over the points once again. I know we get a lot of new people tuning in here. This is a 9-week series, so the points do count. And the big caveat, as we talked about earlier, Wes, is the different divisions, which now is going to get even more mixed up. Super late models tonight, street stocks next week, and then a surprise coming for you guys in 2 weeks. I don't even know what it is. I have no clue. So stay tuned for that. But some names that you're going to want to keep your eye on tonight as far as the season-long points go, because there are some prizes up for grabs for the champion of this series. The Ryans, Ryan Borges, Ryan Matthews, we've talked about them a lot the last couple of weeks. They come in tonight with a tie. Both have 76 points. Ryan Matthews, our winner with the Tour Mods last week, would officially be your point leader. So Ryan Borges would be second. So keep your eye on Ryan Borges, Ryan Matthews tonight. They're going to be strong. Eric Purcell has also been very good. He comes in 2 tonight, just 7 points off the lead. Tanner Thomas, the young Patrick Thomas's son, he comes in 4th, just 9 points back. Jeffrey Gabalt, 11 points back. Nicholas Noggle is 6th, 13 points back. And we have Blake Klauser, who is in 7th. Anthony Sergi, the winner during the street stock portion of the World Series, he's 8th. And we have Nick Snyder and Devin McLeod. So a lot of familiar names. Oh, and by the way, we better mention him, or else he'll tip our whole broadcast over here tonight. Jason Lester is 11th in points. So there's your top 11. And we'll be giving you guys some feedback and some information on all the drivers that you'll see tonight once we get rolling.
All right, so Kyle is wrapping up the drivers meeting here soon. I see he's still speaking. So Ryan, roughly, we have about 35 to 40 cars that have shown up. Only 25 are going to make the show. So
man, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, so you know what? These heats are going to matter. We're going to take the top 3. The Consi's going to matter. But what's going to matter the most is that qualifying. You qualify top 10, you can scoot right on by. You don't have to worry about any of the drama.
Head right on down to Persimmon Hollow, get yourself a nice brew. Sit back, relax, watch the heat races. Top 10 locked in qualifying. They don't have to go through the heats. Again, we only take about the top 3 from the heats and the top 1 or 2 from the consolation races to round out the field. So that single car qualifying, it's important. The heat races, just with so much on the line, makes it very exciting to watch. So stay tuned tonight. We have a great program coming your way, with full heat race action, full consolation, and the full feature. So buckle in, get ready to go. We're just a few minutes away from going green flag racing tonight.
Yep. So Ryan, all right, we know who your pick is, correct?
Man, I'd like to take the easy way out and say Ryan Matthews is probably the favorite, but I don't know, man. Maybe these guys with this experience now, doing this for 3-4 weeks, have caught up to him.
Maybe. All right. So this is what I'm going to go with. All right. Ryan
Mix
Matthews.
Mix it up for us a little bit here.
I think Nick Noggle is going to bring home the win.
I can agree with that. Nick has been strong. Nick Noggle, a winner of a pro late model race during the World Series, so he knows his way around the racetrack. And I think we'll see that 08 car up in the mix. So that's a good pick. Maybe some will think of him as a sleeper here in esports world, but we'll have to see. And the invert's going to make things interesting. If you remember back the esports 100 West, we started those guys straight up, and there wasn't any passes for the lead. We had a lot of wrecks, but the lead was hard to take away from Ryan Matthews at that point. Now we're going to have an invert, so that could mix things up. Maybe that's going to play into
also Ryan
tonight.
Something we haven't seen all season with these guys is they're going to have a reset tonight. We haven't done that, and the reason why is because if you were here, if you were here for week 2, there was that car was just calamity, and a lot of good drivers were taken out pretty early on the first lap. Also, with no practice races, I want to make sure if something like that were to happen again, they have something to fall back on. So I want to make sure these guys are taken care of.
Yep, and you know what? That's a good thing to throw in there. That way, everybody can still be out there, and they don't feel like maybe they've come out and wasted their evening, because we don't want anybody to feel that way either. So, so now if your favorite driver crashes out on lap 1, which we saw a couple weeks ago with Anthony Sergi, don't go anywhere. They can get back out there at least once. Now, if they wreck on lap 1 and 2, like say Clint Boyer does all the time, thanks for coming. Sorry about your luck.
Exactly. So, all right, we only got a couple minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is the New Smyrna Speedway's E-Series pre-show, brought to you by Edgewater Screens. As you see up here, see their phone number right up there, the 428-8490, I believe that is. It's so damn small. All right, I should have just called him. His number's right there on the screen. Why didn't I just call him? The common sense is straight out the window. But thank you everybody for watching this pre-show. You're about to get some crazy nonstop action. If you have not watched this series yet this season, you haven't watched on New Smyrna's page, you haven't watched on VidaneTV, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button at VidaneTV on Facebook. We do this all week long, calling races. 2 nights a week, we call local Florida guys, Monday and Wednesday nights. So tonight is going to be nuts. You're going to have some familiar names. You're going to have some new names and maybe some upsets and surprises. So my name is Wes Rowdy Hogue. That is Ryan Stevens, the voice of New Smyrna Speedway. It's time to go racing.
Let's go. Let's do it. And I'm excited to.
All right, guys, it is time to go racing. We're about to kick it over to qualifying. Ryan, I'm excited for this. And remember, every single caution will be brought to you by College Hunks, hauling junk and moving. Bobby Dooley, the owner of the Daytona Beach chapter. So, all right, boys and girls, everybody ready? You ready to go?
Ready to go, man. I'm excited. Super late models here tonight, week 3 of the World Series of Esports here. If you'd missed the pre-show, Anthony Sergi won week number 1 of the Street Stocks. Ryan Matthews won the Tour Mods a week ago. We'll see if we're going to have 3 different winners in 3 different weeks, or maybe Matthews or Sergi goes back to victory lane here tonight. But first, we have to qualify. We're going to lock in the top 10 through single car qualifying, which I believe is going on now. And then we'll have some heat race action and some last chance qualifiers coming your way. So a lot of great qualifying action coming up before we get to the 100-lap main event.
Right, Ryan, I just want to make sure you can hear me fine, correct?
Wes, I got you loud and clear, buddy.
Awesome, sounds good. Had to change up a couple things on the settings, but we are good to rock and roll here. And man, I would like to say that my favorite my favorite going into this is it's going to be Nick Nagwa. It has to be Nick Nagwa.
I think Nick's going to be strong, but we also have some new drivers in attendance here tonight that could mix things up. Canova is here in attendance. He ran for the first time with the Pro Trucks on Monday night. I think he could be a guy. I also think Joshua Hart could be strong here tonight. Jesse Powers among those. Joshua Koonsbeck. I think tonight we might see some new things.
That's definitely one way to put it. Tonight we will see some new things. So these drivers,
I can guarantee that.
These drivers go ahead and they are qualifying now. If you are watching online, if you're watching on the Facebook or YouTube, chat with us. We're watching it. Ryan is keeping track of the Facebook mentions, as I am as well. I see we have Christy Patrick Thomas. Not sure which one is on. It might be Patrick. We got Jennifer Brinson watching. That's Cody Brinson's mama. We got Austin Griffiths on. Corey Bigley, who raced in our Monday night series. You can see him every Monday night. So go ahead and feel free to talk to us. Let us know who your favorite driver is and who you think is going to bring home the win tonight.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments coming in on the Facebook. I'm going to try to watch that throughout the night. I want to give a shout out to Goodrich Seafood and Oyster House, are another great sponsor with us. You've seen the 7 car with Doug Elliott out here. They're a big supporter of him, so I want to give them a shout out and hope they're doing well through all of this. Also, my dad has chimed in on the live feed, and he's rooting for Jason Lester tonight. So Jason Lester has one fan. I don't know that my dad knows the history of Lester, but that's all right. He's got to have fans all the way up in Vermont.
I guess that's Patrick Thomas. He's working in the garage. He's getting ready for the race season. And we got to give a shout out to Sunshine State Racing. They helped put this together. They also helped put together the Pro Truck Challenge Series that we have on Monday nights. Shout out to them, as well as the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. Great sponsors, as well as, of course, AWS Roofing. AWS Roofing Services is the supporting sponsor of VidaneTV. If you're interested in being a supporting sponsor, let us know as well. We'll make that happen, as well as all of our sponsors that are on board with us, as well as James Adams Pressure Washing. He's got a pretty cool company out there in the Edgewater area. He's going to pressure wash everything you need pressure washed. Rowdy's Dipping Services, the #1 liquid wrap company in the southeast of the country and of North Florida. You need something liquid wrapped, you give them a call. And everybody else that has been here tuning in each and every week, either if it's been on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much. This is what we love to do. We understand you can't go to your local short tracks unless you're near 417 or Showtime or something like that. But we're here to try to entertain the masses. So, and also College Hunks, Holland Junks and Moving. You need something moved. You're in the Daytona area. You're even South Florida. Doesn't matter where it is. Call Bobby Dooley. He's going to be the guy to call. And for that number for Bobby Dooley, is I pull it up and give out his number, and he may not be happy about this, but he'll be all right. It is not.
He'll be happy if it brings him customers.
It'll be 904-755-1848. That's 904-755-1848. That's College Hunks, moving, junked, and moving. That's Bobby Dooley, mod mini driver. He's going to be watching us with us. So,
and Wes, we have some other breaking news here. Tyler Sontag, kind of our heartbreak kid in this series, if you will, he's picked up some last-minute sponsorship tonight. He's going to have Boytech riding alongside him tonight. Of course, that's Boytech, one of our local guys at New Smyrna, Jason Boyd, who works on a lot of the cars at New Smyrna Speedway. So
he actually just reached out to us. He might become a sponsor as well.
That's what I heard. That's why I wanted to give him some love. But he'll be sponsoring the 91, Tyler Sontag, tonight. And I think there's a lot of people rooting for Tyler. He's had a lot of heartbreak the first 2 weeks. One spot short of making the main event last week. So watch Tyler Sontag in the Boytech ride tonight. And folks, as qualifying wraps up, I believe Bruce Bennett set fast time ahead of Cody Brinson. So those two guys have locked themselves in. But Wes, we're getting ready to grid heat number 1 to see who's going to make it in. And guess what, folks? Ryan Matthews, the co-point leader, he has to race his way into the show tonight.
That sandbagging didn't work for you, did Ryan?
No, it did not.
All right, so Jason Lester will be starting pole next to Ryan Matthews in that 51. And remember, we're moving on the top 3. Ryan Pierce in the 051 starting 3rd. 4th, Adam Bultemeyer in the 72. Starting 5th will be Nick Snyder in the 16. 6th outside of him should be Kevin Macy in the 119. Starting 7th will be Dylan Martin in the 07. Eugene Tuminello in the 35, starting 8th. Corey Kutina starting 9th in the 03. Arthur Hendren 10th, and should be rounding out your field if everything goes well would be James Snyder if he decides to race with us here. He hasn't hit the grid yet, but that is your scheduled starting lineup for heat number 1.
So at least 10 cars getting ready to go here in this 12-lap heat race. Wes, I believe we're taking the top 3 and only 3 to the main event.
Correct. The top 3 and only 3 moving on here. If you don't finish in the top 3, we will have, looks like, 2 LCQ races where the winner moves on. So we are taking the top 3 out of these 3 heats that we're going to have, and then the winner in the C main and the B main, and then we will have your national anthem. So Paul is in the booth. Shout out to Paul. He gets you the production and the great shots you get to see. Thank you, Paul. You do a heck of a job down there in the booth, pushing your little sausages on the keys and not fat fingering anything. So great job down there, Paul. We love you.
I'm sure we'll be talking to Paul quite a bit here tonight. And folks, these heat races will have admin cautions. Our admins, if you hear us mention them, they are our race directors that are overseeing the action here tonight. So if there's any major issues out on the speedway, the admins will throw the caution. The folks are getting ready to go with Jason Lester and Ryan Matthews up on our front row. And this should be interesting. Jason Lester had a tough go of things in the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series race number 1 on Monday night. Now he's switching over to the super late model, and he sits 11th in points. So as the Daytona Dodge Pace Truck pulls off, we are getting ready to go to see who's going to qualify their way into tonight's 100-lap main event. Wes, here we go. Green flag is out. Jason Lester and Ryan Matthews side by side for the lead down the backstretch.
Side by side they are, as Matthews has the advantage on the outside. He's able to clear Lester coming out of 4. The battle for the transfer spot is on. Nick Snyder is low on the Ryan Pierce machine. Oh!
Whoa, we got one going around. We got a bunch of them going around. Kevin Macy's in the wall. I believe that's Eugene Tuminello in the 35 that's gone around. So not what you want to see here early on, and that is going to bring out our first College Hunks yellow flag of the night.
Yeah, you saw it happen there live, and we're going to give you a quick instant replay here, brought to you by College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving. And we'll pull this up here. We'll see the 72 got a little bit squirrely there. Well, he had a little bit of help from the 07. The 07 tried to back up just a bit, but not enough room there for the 119. He just kind of got into the back of him, sent the 72 around, and collected a couple of cars. But luckily, I mean, you can see there's a little bit of right front damage there on the number 72. I don't think it's prohibitive, and being there's only, looks like there's 10 cars that started this heat race, I think these guys still have a shot. Probably going to restart, maybe 6 laps to go here in the heat race, so definitely still able to get a top 3 with those machines, I think.
And, you know, Paul, you mentioned that you got to keep going because you never know what's going to happen. If you have problems on lap 1, you got to just get back out there and try to get back in the show because things could get interesting at the front. Remember, we're going to take the top 3, and the top 3 going into turn number 1 on the final lap might not be your top 3 qualifiers. So you got to be out there to have a chance. So hopefully they'll get back out there and continue on. But a wild start to this one. Adam Boltmeyer, that 72 Victor Ford car, was involved. Art Hendren, one of our super stock regulars, along with Eugene Tuminello, another one of our super stock regulars, having some trouble here tonight as they're getting used to these super late models. Scoring showing Ryan Matthews, our co-point leader, as the race leader, and that's good news for him. He definitely wants to get in the show tonight.
Ryan Matthews, as that co-points leader, you need to make that show, especially since there's no drop races. Ryan Matthews actually contacted me and said, hey, there might be a race that I have to miss. Do I get a drop race? And no, you don't. So you're probably going to win most of these races anyways, brother. So you better build up that points cushion. So there is no kind of a buffer for them. You know, you go out there, you got to get it done.
There's no safety net. You got to be here and you got to be strong. But here's the good news for the fans all watching. I know we have a lot of people watching. Ryan Matthews, he's been dominant a couple of times already in this series. He's going to start no better than 11th tonight if he were to win this race. So that's going to make things fun to watch. Here we go, green flag, and there's the master of the restarts. Ryan Matthews showing you how to get it done. Look at the lead he has carrying down into turn number 1.
As Arthur Hendren knocks it into the wall further in the back, the battle for the transfer position moves on as Ryan Pierce is in front of Adam Butenmeyer, but he's got pressure from Corey Katina coming from the back as we come to lap 8, 5 to go.
5 laps to go. Right now, the 16, how about Nick Snyder getting himself into a transferred spot right now? So he's our final man right behind Jason Lester in the 7, but 4th place is right there on his back bumper. One mistake, you overdrive one corner, and you could go all the way back, and that's almost what happened right there, as you see. Snyder getting a little out of shape, but so is the 4th place car of Ryan Pierce back there as well. And here comes the 72 Boltmeyer right back into the thick of things, Wes.
Ryan, the battle for the transfer position is not under fire, but who is Jason Lester in 2nd. Lester needs to keep a cool head here, knowing, hey, even if you finish 3rd, brother, you're still moving on. You don't want to do anything here, get too defensive, and not have a chance to move on to the big show. But Lester's sitting pretty as we go 2 to go. Your leader, Ryan Matthews.
Matthews way out ahead, then Lester in 2nd, Nick Snyder in 3rd. Those are the only 3 positions that matter right now. The 4th place car is once again Ryan Pierce. Pierce has moved his way back up to 4th around the 72, starting to fade. White flag is in the air. Final time now. Ryan Matthews, the co-point leader, looking good to lock himself in. 2nd and 3rd looking good, but let's see if they make it around. Here comes Ryan Matthews, going to bring it to the checkered flag, Wes.
Ryan Matthews off of 4, clean and green throughout. He will win and move on, as well as Jason Lester and Nick Snyder will round out your top 3 moving on, sending Dylan Martin, Ryan Pierce, Adam Boltmeyer, and more to the LCQ.
Nice recovery there. Dylan Martin started in the middle of the field. He made his way up to 4th, so he'll have a good starting position for one of our consolation races later on. So if your favorite driver didn't make it into the show in this first heat race, stay tuned. They'll have another shot later on. Wes, we are gridding now quickly into heat number 2. Another 3 drivers getting ready to lock themselves into tonight's 100-lap main event.
Shout out to Matt Cheatham. First time watching, enjoy it. We'll be glad when my home track of Langley Speedway in Virginia opens up. Langley's on here too, and I know a lot of guys that love racing on there. Shout out to you, Matt. Hopefully you get opened up soon.
Hey, Wes, co-point leader Ryan Borg's checking in on Facebook saying Ryan Matthews was holding out for the invert, and that's why he missed out on qualifying in the top 10 tonight.
And that's why we do what we do.
Yes, we're mixing it up. We're trying to give you guys the best show. And Wes, get us the starting lineup here for heat number 2. I'm pumped up, ready to go.
Yeah, we got the son of Rich Klauser in the Blake Klauser machine.
Now is it Blake or Rich tonight?
This is Blake. Rich jumps in the truck. Blake
Okay.
is the model.
10-4.
He'll be starting pole, and second will be Jesse Powers in the 32, Mr. AWS Roofing there. Third, Jimmy Frazier in the 6. Fourth will be Stephen Hollinger in the 85, a new driver here. Starting fifth will be David Costello in the 50. Starting sixth will be Tyler Sontag. See if he can make the show tonight.
There's that Boyd Tech ride we talked about.
Fan favorite, Tyler Sontag. Jeffrey Gabaltz in the 92, starting 7th. Rex Kenyon, starting 8th in the 99. Starting in 9th will be TJ Chambers in the number 9, and that will round out your field for this heat race. I know Jarrett Bolliard was actually scheduled to start 10th, but Jarrett's actually in the race control center helping out tonight with Kyle Young.
All right, so we're going to have 9 cars. 3 are going to transfer on, the rest to the consolation rounds. Wes, we've seen some good things out of Blake Klauser and Jesse Powers, so they would be the 2 that jump off the page at me. But we're going to be watching Tyler Sontag, of course, in the Boyd Tech ride tonight. He's going to try to make the show. He messaged me earlier, and he guaranteed that he was going to qualify here tonight. So watch the 91 coming from 6th position here tonight. Rex Kenyon, he's made some noise in this series, as has Chambers. So I don't know. There's some good cars stacked up in all the rows here tonight as the pace truck, Daytona Dodge pace truck, pulls off, and we are underway, and it's Blake Klauser getting the jump on Jesse Powers as they go down into turn number 1.
The young Blake Klauser trying to make his way into this 100-lapper for week 3 as the battle for third rolls on. That's Hollinger on the outside. On the bottom is a Frazier. Frazier wants it. They make contact coming off a 4. Hollinger keeps it out of the wall, but he's going to lose his position or 2 doing so.
Stephen Hollinger, the son of the Bone Man, Rex Hollinger, getting stuck in that outside lane. Costello in the 50 has gone around him now. And the top 3 starting to scoot away. That's what they want to see. They want that separation. They don't want to feel the pressure here. But I believe they'll feel that pressure as Costello gets a piece of the wall in the 50, and back to the inside comes Hollinger, the little bone man, if you will. He takes the 4th spot away, and he'll try to make up some ground on our top 3, Klauser, Powers, and Frazier in the qualified spots right now.
12 laps to get it done here, Ryan. So if you want to get it done, you got to do it quickly. Tyler Sontag in 7th position currently. He was one to watch, and he went the wrong direction on the start of the race, and he has gone further back. Back up front, though, you have Blake Klauser as your leader, Jesse Powers second, Jimmy Frazier. That rounds out your top 3 who will be moving on if they finish like that. But Steve Hollinger inching closer as the laps go on.
Clean and green so far, approaching the halfway point where these heat races go by in the blink of an eye if there's no cautions. Top 3 still looking good. Stephen Hollinger in that 85, he's closing in here just a little bit. You can see that number 6 car, Jimmy Frazier, out his cockpit now as he tries to close in, but things looking good for Klauser, Powers, and Frazier still. As really the battle right now, West, is for that 4th spot as Costello continues to stock the 85.
Around TJ Chambers further in the back. He's got it back going in that 15 machine, just a self-spin. But we were 6 down, 6 to go here. Your top 3 stays the same, but Hollinger will be the one to watch here in that 85. Can he make up the time to possibly at least get in Jimmy Frazier's mirror and put some pressure on him?
Now that's what he's hoping for here, but everybody's starting to scoot away. Not much has changed here at the front. 5 laps to go, so not a whole lot of time to make things happen. We're coming to 4 to go, just 2 miles left here in heat number 2. Heat 1 had the big crash early on. Heat number 2, clean and green. We've seen some great heat racing so far during this eWorld Series, and we're seeing some more great racing tonight. But the top 3, West, they got that great start, and that seems to be the key here. Maybe the battle for second, though, heating up a little bit.
As it is, and again, it's one of those things where you gotta be smart. You're in a transfer position, you don't want to push it, especially if they get side by side. Hollinger is going to be there to pounce as Klauser comes out of turn 4, taking the popsicle sticks. 2 to go.
2 to go for the youngster, Blake Klauser, the son of Rich Klauser. Rich ran Monday night in the Pro Truck race, and now Blake running tonight and running away with it up at the front. He's got almost a second lead over Jesse Powers. Of course, Jesse, one of the title sponsors. of this World Series here. Running good, trying to get himself in the show tonight. And we'll see if Jesse can be one of the top drivers. He'll get to go golfing. But Wes, we're on the final lap, final time into turn 3. I think everything's going to hold station as Blake Clouser rounds off turn number 4.
Clouser comes off turn 4 and he gets sideways.
Whoa!
I think it's showing off a little bit there. Jesse Powers second, Jimmy Frazier third. So that means Stephen Hollinger, David Costello, Gabal, and Tyler Sontag and friends have to move on. And actually, I got a message from Ryan Matthews, and he said, so no sandbagging didn't work. So he feels like everybody's sandbagged is what he feels.
Well, here's the thing. I think that Ryan expected to be really good, but I think now we're on week number 3. These guys have been practicing. I think they're starting to catch up to him as we get ready for heat number 3. And we have a lot of big names here in heat number 3, including the pole sitter Anthony Sergi. Wes will take us through our starting lineup.
Got to Bobby Dooley, Hall and Junks. He says hello in the chat. Glad you're watching. While Anthony Sergi will lead us down to the green flag for this third heat, followed up by Bray Holmes in the 57. He's going to be to his outside. Willie Cuddy in the 23 will be lining up third. To his outside will be Kyle Pitts in the number 8. Dalton Smith in that 24 will be running 5th. He's a new Smyrna Speedway local. Jeff White will be on his outside running 6th. He runs with our Florida Pro Truck Series on Mondays. Colt Cecil in the number 7. In 7th in the number 19 with David Love in the 70, starting 8th. Starting 9th will be Cody Pitts, not Kyle, but Cody Pitts in the 47, starting 9th. And rounding out your field will
Wait, Wes, are you sure that 26 isn't Bubba Pollard? That looks like a Bubba Pollard car to me.
Just like a Bubba Pollard card, but no, that isn't Bubba.
All right, well, he's going to channel his inner Bubba and try to get up to the front. Remember, folks, only the top 3 qualify. I want to give a shout out to everybody watching on Facebook here tonight. Glad to have that as a new platform to bring you this new Smyrna eSports World Series. I want to give a shout out to the Hart family if they are watching, and Rusty Marcus as well if he tunes into this. I want to thank them for letting us expand our coverage here tonight for the rest of the series.
Get Rusty Marcus in the booth for one of these times for an interview.
It'd be great, except we wouldn't be able to talk. Rusty would be too excited.
That's what this is all about, as we are green flag racing here. Heat number 3 at New Smyrna Speedway as Anthony Sergi dives it down into turn 1. On the outside, still holding his Bray Holmes. He gets the run down the backstretch. Can he pull it off, as now they battle through 3 and 4?
Boy, Bray Holmes, the Truck Series regular, going to come off the high side with the lead, passing the former New Smyrna Super Late Model champion, Anthony Sergi. Bray Holmes now your leader. Kyle Pitts in the 8. He's running in 3rd. Remember, only the top 3 move on. Everybody else from Willie Cuddy on back will have to go to the consolation races. But Wes, don't hold your breath. It's been tame so far, but maybe heat number 3 is where it all breaks out. Ooh, some close quarters racing here with the 24, 23, and 21. Devin McLeod coming from the back of the field, flying up towards the front.
Devin McLeod.
McLeod gets a shot from wannabe Bubba Pollard. They're trying to wreck. West, they never found a spot to do it, though. They keep it straight and we're green.
If I know Devin McLeod, he is not going to be happy. If he can get back up to him, that might be a caution. Now, that opened up the door for Jeff White to come at the 70 machine, try to get some spots back from his poor start, and looks like 42 goes straight into the wall, opening up for the slingshot here by the 70 with a crossover.
More contact. Boy, they are beating the walls down here at New Smyrna Speedway tonight, but somehow keeping these cars straight, and this is all behind the battle for our 3rd spot. The top 3 breaking away once again. Now everybody else just having to try to keep the fenders on these cars before the consolation races later.
Bray Holmes, Anthony Sergi, Kyle Pitts running single file coming to the halfway point. Dalton Smith trying to join that battle, followed up by Cody Pitts in 5th. Further back, they're still battling it out. Colt Cecil having a little bit of a hard time in that 19. Some of these guys are not used to running super lates, and they're definitely getting getting thrown into the ocean on this.
Yeah, some of these guys coming off of Monday night's race at USA International Speedway, a little bit different track, a little bit more racing room. New Smyrna, it's kind of like a funnel once you get down to these corners, and makes for some close quarters racing. So a little bit of a curveball for some of these guys tonight. But no curveball from Bray Holmes. A great battle early on between he and Anthony Sergi. Those two, though, looking strong. Sergi not going away. The top three, actually, Wes, starting to rubber band back together. And here comes Dalton Smith in the 24. 5 laps to go. Don't cash in your chips yet. Dalton Smith, the Pro Late Model regular here at New Smyrna, trying to battle his way into the show. With the top three, Bray Holmes, Anthony Sergi, Kyle Pitts, trying to advance. 3 to go.
Dalton Smith has a bumper, and he knows how to use it. We've seen that in the past, and it'll be interesting to see if he uses that for that transfer position. However, an admin may throw a black flag if he sees somebody intentionally get taken out for a transfer position. So if that were to happen, and you see that happen, don't be surprised. But if I know Dalton, though, he will do everything he can to get around him cleanly. 2 to go.
We're coming down to it, and things holding strong right now. So the heat races tonight, Wes, kind of the opposite of what we're used to seeing. Pretty clean endeavors, but folks, things are going to get wild during the B mains. Bray Holmes brings us down to the white flag. Final time through, I think everybody's just going to stay where they are and transfer on. Bray Holmes brings into the turn number 3. He's got about a 5-car length lead over Sergi. As they come off turn number 4, looks like Bray Holmes is going to win Heat 3. Anthony Sergi, Kyle Pitts will be your qualifiers. Dalton Smith and everybody else behind him will go to the consolation races coming up here in just a few.
Some clean and green through those heat races. Only 1 caution, I believe, through the heat. So now we will kick it to the first Conti race, which is the C main. If you know your alphabet, you know, C and then B and then A. So the winner of this moves on. So if you thought that was action packed, all these guys are just fighting for one position here for 20 laps, Ryan.
Wes, that was the warm-up for the warm-up to the main event. So, folks, we're getting down to it. There is no time to waste in this first C main or first consolation race, whatever you call it, in your neck of the woods. We have a lot of people watching on Facebook. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Also want to give a couple of shout-outs to some of our regular New Smyrna sponsors, including Dustin's Barbecue, Persimmon Hollow, Skips Boots. Please visit skipsboots.com. Buy yourself some nice cowboy boots so when we get back to racing, you can look sharp, just like Robert Hart does every time he steps foot on the ground. So, of course, big thank you to Miller Lite, our official beer sponsor. If you can, go to your fridge, grab a nice cold beer, sit back, relax, get ready for round number 2 of qualifying with our consolation races, our alphabet soup, as we try to see who's going to make it in. And as Wes said, only the winner is going to be happy after this one.
Hey Ryan, this is Paul down in the production truck. Hey, if you wanted to pull some strings and maybe get expand that Miller Lite sponsorship over to VidaneTV, we'll work for beer.
I knew that was coming.
Man, see, Paul, you've got it all right, man. This is what it's all about. Just having some fun here. Grab yourself a beer. Enjoy the broadcast tonight. I'm sure some of these drivers will probably need a nice Miller Lite or maybe even a White Claw if that's their thing. After this race is done.
We got 2 of the most aggressive drivers in this LCQ starting side by side, and that's Dylan Martin and Dalton Smith. David Costello also, he's a stranger to the bumper as well as Devin
Look at Devin McLeod, and Tyler Sontag is in this one. He guaranteed he was going to make the show tonight. So, folks, here we go. We are green. Pick your winner now. Put your chips where they lie. 20 laps, so plenty of time to get yourself up into a qualified spot. But we'll be watching the middle of the pack. Devin McLeod, Tyler Sontag, and the Boyd Tech ride tonight. Kevin Macy, a sportsman driver. Oh, gets into Tyler. We got a crash. Tyler Sontag is spun out, and Jason Boyd's not going to be happy about that, as he's going to have to fix that number 91 car during the week.
You know what? We just said Jason Boyd's name. So that's what sponsors care about here, too. Making sure they get their TV time, right?
Hey, it's getting wild if you're talking about Jason Boyd and Jason Lester on the same broadcast.
Well, what you got there for us, brother?
Yeah, just taking a quick look at it, and man, the 91 just kind of checked up a little bit to not run into the back of the 91, or the 21 rather, and just like we saw the 119 in the heat race, he checked up, but he got booted from the back, so it's really hard to see through these late models. I know if you look real closely, you can see the spoilers are clear, so in some instances, you're able to see through the spoiler, through the rear windshield, through the front windshield to see the car in front of you, but it's really hard to figure out when these cars in front of the other cars are going to stop, so you gotta gotta kind of keep your head on a swivel. And unfortunately, it looks like the 119 got a boot from the back and booted the 91. But looking at it real quick, doesn't look like there's any damage on that car. Just kind of a lazy spin. Didn't hit any walls. There's some big time damage there on the 119. We'll take a quick look at that while we've got a lull in the action. Just looking at the front of that car, that is definitely tore up. So I don't know if he's going to be able to use the OS button as it was coined last night in our Old Dominion reunion show, but a lot of heavy damage on that front clip there on the 119.
Patrick Thomas said at least Tyler doesn't need a clip. Is there a story behind that?
No, that's just if you hit the wall here at New Smyrna, you usually have to clip either the front or the rear, so that's good news. He was able to keep it off the wall. Wes, we got some questions coming in from Facebook. Some of our drivers chiming in. How can they be a part of this going forward?
Go fast and turn left.
No, well, obviously, but how can some of our drivers get on board with getting involved in our program here on Wednesday nights?
Go fast and turn left. No, I'm joking with you. If you are familiar to iRacing, you have at least 6 months experience on iRacing. Go ahead and go to the league directory and send in an application to Vidane Racing, Vidane Racing. Anybody's welcome to race this, unlike Monday nights where it is invitational. So anybody's welcome to come join us for this 9 weeks, and then message VidaneTV on Facebook and give us your number requests. So that's how you join this fun here at New Smyrna Racing, and we are back Green Flag Racing. Dylan Martin's your leader.
So Dylan Martin, what a special story he is. Severely injured in an automobile accident just a couple of years ago. Never thought he'd race again. Climbed back on the wheel of a pro truck. And now one of our other pro truck drivers, Devin McLeod, involved in a calamity. And guess who it got? Tyler Sontag, the Heartbreak Kid, once again.
And Tyler just cannot catch a break, and it just looked like that the 15 machine there of TJ Chambers just kind of drove it in there and sent him around. If I know Mr. McLeod, he's not going to be happy. What you got there, Paul?
VidaneTV Instant Replay brought to you by College Hunks. We're going to take a look at it from the blimp cam here this time around. Focus in the 21. He gets a little bit of a shot from the 15. Almost saves it. 63 shoots the 21 in the back of him. Tyler Sontag, the 91, gets involved, and that all-black car gets a quick little tag there. A lot of damage on the 21. Doesn't look too bad on the 91, but definitely bet he's going to be racing aggressively because I was looking in on a lot of conversations that Tyler Sontag had. He really desperately wants to make one of these shows, and it's definitely showing with his driving style. He's hoping to make one of these shows. We'll see what he can do here. We're probably going to restart with about 9 laps to go. He's going to be restarting 11, so I don't know. We'll see if we can make up 10 spots here in 10 laps.
We got a message from Krista May, who of course is involved with the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series, one of our sponsors here. She says #all involved, and I know a lot of our people will understand that reference.
Good job, Krista. You got me to pop. That was awesome. All right, so here we go again. Next time around, they should get the two to go next time by. And what we're going to do...
wow. Wes, we've had a bit of an incident here under caution. McLeod and Sontag getting into each other. It just keeps going.
As it does, taking a look there, I'm not exactly sure what happened. It looks like just the whole field checked up. And
accordion effect.
Yeah, Devin wasn't exactly paying attention, nor was Tyler. And that happens when you don't have those eyes peeled.
You got to pay attention 100% of the time.
While we have a second, I'm going to grab Jesse Powers real fast. Jesse Powers, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Go ahead and plug AWS Roofing here, brother. You're going to have a second. Grab yourself a drink. Tell the fans about AWS Roofing, as Jesse Powers is one of the main heads there.
It's a family-owned company. We've been in business for over 30 years, Central Florida mainly, but we do travel around, and we do Coast Guard stations. We do a lot of stuff around the area.
All right, I wanted to get you in here real quick. We're going to talk later after the national anthem as well. We got a little bit of racing to call if you just want to sit tight.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, hurricane season's coming up, so keep those roofing needs in mind as we are back underway We got a challenge for the second spot, but that doesn't matter. Right now, the only spot that matters is Dylan Martin, the 07. He is your race leader. A little smoke at the back of the screen. Pay no mind to that. We continue under green. Dalton Smith, the new Smyrna regular, stuck here. He's the meat in this sandwich. He's trying to look for a way around these guys as David Costello is in second, but that's the bridesmaid spot right now, not where you want to be, Wes. Woo, close quarters action here on the front straightaway.
Ryan, there's a lot of cars in these races, and this is why you want to make it in qualifying or the heat. There's a lot. It's a big car count for these LCQs. You know, there's 10 cars currently on the track. There's only one spot up for grabs, so that's why qualifying in the heat races are so pivotal, and that's what we want to make sure in this league, that this would be pivotal. You want to make sure that winning and finishing up front matter.
Yes, and folks, make sure you join us every week to hear Wes's new created word of the week. It's very pivotal. Pivotal, apparently. Oh, we got a crash. Every time I pick, upside down. We got a big one here on the front straightaway. That's Colt Cecil going over.
I'm a jet skied.
I guess maybe.
Pivotal. Say it for me, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you use the promo code PIVOTABLE for next week's show.
That's P-I, 6 V's, I, another V.
Pivotal!
It's very pivotal that we have Paul down in the truck to bring us this replay of this crazy wreck that has brought us under caution.
And we're going to pivot right into the College Hunks instant replay again, looking at the blimp view here. 63 just gets a tag, sends him on around, and then the 119 says, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Sends him on, barreling down into turn number 1, lands on all 4 tires, grabs a gear, and, well, rolls backwards, and then he grabs a gear, and then he goes. So, a lot of damage on that 63. Definitely don't think he's going to be able to win this Conti, but it'll be fun to see what he can do. He's going to be restarting probably 8th here, so we'll see.
Ryan, I think we might be taking 3 out of the Conti again, just because of the amount of people that were in the server. We might be taking 3 from the Conti. We'll keep you guys updated on that. Also, Jennifer Brinson, the mother of Cody Brinson, who will be racing tonight, says support sponsors who support racing. Send sponsor shout-outs to Sunshine State Racing's Facebook, and we will highlight them. So if you are a sponsor of real racing or virtual racing, Sunshine State Racing on Facebook, Rowdy's Dipping. Better get on that, Jennifer. Rowdy's Dipping will come out and support you. They'll make sure they put you all over Sunshine State's Facebook. So
hey, and Wes, let's give them a shout out because they do a great job keeping everybody informed what's going on in the state of Florida as far as racing goes, especially during this time of uncertainty. So make sure you follow Sunshine State Racing. They've got you covered from every track, from 417 to Auburndale to Citrus, to New Smyrna, and all in between. So follow them. If you're wondering what's racing this week and who's racing what, follow them. They'll keep you informed of everything going on. We appreciate the work. It's just a couple of people running that page, doing the Lord's work there, keeping you updated on everything you need to know Florida racing. That is Sunshine State Racing, one of our great sponsors here. We got a lot of great sponsors, including the O'Reilly Auto Parts Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series, CageGauge.com. Of course, Sunshine State Racing, like we just mentioned. Wes's own company, Rowdy's Dippin' as well. And, of course, Edgewater Screen, our title sponsor. Thank you to everybody that supports us. And if you'd like to sponsor this series, please let us know. We'd be glad to have you on board.
And for those that don't know, that our title sponsor, Edgewater Screen, has thrown out a trip for 2 to the golf course near him. I'll have to double check that golf course again, the name of it. But the winner of this race is going to get a trip for 2. A free round of golf on him. That is absolutely awesome. As Ryan, we're about to go green flag racing for 1 of 5 green white.
It's a green white checker here, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan Martin, your leader. David Castillo. And now Dalton Smith, maybe into that 3rd spot. Maybe we're taking 3. Maybe we're taking 1. Maybe we're taking 2. I don't know. Just win the race if you want to make the show. Oh, we got trouble into the wall hard. Is one car, and of course the Boy Tech car, Tyler Sontag, is involved. Heartbreak Kid, Tyler Sontag having another wreck here, Wes. Hate to see it.
Cole Cecil turned into a snowplow and just plowed Tyler Sontag from turn 1 to the middle of the backstretch. Poor Tyler Sontag. He is not going to be happy with this, nor is Dylan Martin. You know, Dylan wanted to see that white flag so he could go on and move on. But while we have a lull in it, again, Paul is going to bring us our college hunks, hauling junction moving replay.
Yeah, and I went a little bit too overzealous there with the slow motion. That's a little bit too slow. So we're going to give it to you in real time. And you can see we're getting ready to take the restart. We're going to focus on 91 and that green IROC look in number 63. Pretty cool to see that. That's I've always been a fan of the IROC series, and I'm glad to see it's making a resurgence here in iRacing a little bit. But you can see a little bit of contact between the 15 and the 63, and the 15 gives them a boot, sends the 63 up into the 91. They almost have it corrected. 93 or 63, check that. Man, he just keeps going. It's almost like he forgot what the brake pedal was, unfortunately. But Sontag noses into the inside wall there, almost hits that. Looks like an entrance to the infield right there.
It is.
A lot of heavy damage on the front of that car. So I don't know, man. HBK Tyler Sontag, he might be watching here from YouTube and Facebook here on VidaneTV. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it. I mean, depending on how these green-white checkers still have, what, 4 more attempts, Wes?
Yeah, we do. That means 4 more attempts for Calamity, and couple corrections. It's Hidden Lakes Golf Course, Russell Bonanza, giving away a trip for 2. So that's going to be an interesting one. So what do we got here?
Well, what we have here is Dylan Martin securing his spot in the main event, perhaps. Wes, have we figured out if it's going to be the top 2 or 3, or is that something we're going to know after the race?
Solid maybe.
Solid maybe. That's great. I think Wes has left us. He's gone to the Last Lap Saloon to grab another drink as we still have 2 laps to go here, folks. Dylan Martin, David Castillo, and Adam Bultmeyer are your top 3. We're either taking 1 or 3. So that's the thing about these iRacing servers is based on the amount of cars that show up, things kind of change throughout the night. So we'll try to get that in. What's that? What do you got for us, Wes?
1 second, guys. I'm helping out race control.
Oh, Wes, the multi-talented Wes Hogue, getting to race control mode. I want to give a shout out to Holly Hanna and Frank Button. I believe they're watching here. They're special to the new Smyrna family. Just now checking my phone and seeing that they're chiming in here tonight. So, how you guys doing? Hope you're enjoying the eWorld Series as we try to figure out if we're taking 1 or 3, as things are fluid here. And Wes is back in here, so he might have some information for us.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue there where black flags might need to be cleared. A driver got sent to the back for that, and just a little bit of iRacing issues. That's it. As we are back green, and the 15 does not get the start of TJ Chambers. He just did not go. He may have gotten some help on that, but the battle up front is heating up as Dalton Smith does his best to hold off all of Adam Bultmeyer here, going down in the 3.
Where the heck did Dalton Smith come from? The Pro Late Model regular up to the 2nd position, and would like to qualify his way in. Dylan Martin, of course, still your leader. Wes, the white flag is out. Final time now down the back straightaway. Dylan
Big wreck in the back. Big wreck in the back.
We got a big one back there, but it doesn't really matter because it looks like Dylan Martin. Oh, of course, it's the Heartbreak Kid, Tyler Sontag. And they're wrecking again, the 42 in the wall, but Dylan Martin's going to win. Consolation race number 1. Dalton Smith 2nd and Adam Bultmeyer 3rd. Maybe they move on, maybe they don't.
Man, the Tyler Sontag. Oh, Tyler Sontag just knocked the hay out of Colt Cecil there. He was not happy with Cecil there at the end. So, woo! That was action-packed. We got 1 more.
Well, Wes, maybe Tyler Sontag and the Boy Tech ride will have better luck next week in week 4 when we go back to the street stocks.
Yes, and a couple people asking, Steve Fawcett just said, I haven't seen the water barrels on the back straightaway. If you're asking where they are, it's probably because this track hasn't been scanned by iRacing in, like, I don't know, 10 years. If they're there now and you're saying I haven't seen them in a long time, it's because this track hasn't been scanned in about 10 years. So it's not exactly updated if you can't tell by the pink start-finish line.
You know what? Aesthetics aside, it's still just the way she really is. So
full action as well.
Oh yeah. You know, it's funny. We got the old standstill. If you're watching now, you can see the old stands, those ended up on the front straightaway after a hurricane. And the landscape here at New Smyrna in real life may have changed a bit, but the action that you're seeing here on the track sure hasn't. Wes, we've got a whole nother last chance qualifier getting ready to go. Why don't you give the viewers the starting lineup here?
Starting pole will be the 85 Stephen Hollinger. Who is he the son of?
He is the son of Rex Hollinger. We used to call him the Bone Man. He's run mod minis, mini stocks, whatever you call him. Now he's kind of switched over to sprint cars, but that is the son of the Bone Man. A lot of people watching will recognize the name the Bone Man.
I remember that from calling the action in the booth with you. I remember that. Starting second will be the 051 of Ryan Pierce. Starting third will be Cody Pitts in the 47. Starting fourth will be Jeffrey Gabalt in the 92. Starting fifth will be Corey Katuna in the 03. David Love in the 70 will be starting 6th. 99 of Rex Kenyon will be starting 7th. Eugene Tuminello in the 35 will be starting 8th. 9th will be a Willie Cuddy, and that will roll out your field here for this B main.
Well, Wes, I got to give some love to our New Smyrna regulars, Eugene Tuminello, Willie Cuddy coming from the back of the field. And
I got a cool little fact for you here from William Hyman. He said Rex used to tow his mini stock to the track with a Cadillac hearse.
Right, and that's how he got the name the Bone Man, thanks to Dave Westerman back in the day. The late, great Dave Westerman. I learned a lot.
Oh, we're right off the start!
Oh, boy. Oh, upside down, David Love. And everybody from the lead on back has just crashed. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you how not to start a race here at New Smyrna Speedway.
Boy, oh boy, I'm not exactly sure what happened there with the 92, but the 92 of Jeffrey Gabalt just did not get the start that he wanted there. Off the get-go, may have spun the tires, turned hard left into the 47 machine of Cody Pitts. What you have for us there?
One of those wrecks we're going to take a look at from the blimp cam. It's a big checkup back and forth. A lot of drivers not really sure. The 30 turns down into the 26. And calamity ensues. Well, we didn't tell these drivers we were actually filming a commercial on that lap for college hunks to haul away all those junked race cars right there on lap 1, turn 1.
Well, they're definitely going to be busy after this one, and we still haven't gotten to the main event yet.
Woo! I wasn't expecting that straight off the line, Ryan. I got to tell you that.
No, me neither. I was expecting a nice, clean race. As I said earlier, the B mains, they never have cautions. I don't understand what's going on here.
Well, Ryan, this seems like the way that it typically goes. The heats are good. Everybody's, they just gotten into their cars. They're still calm. They're everything's good to go. And as the night goes on, so does the action starts to increase.
No, the aggression ramps up because these guys are sitting in their computer rooms or their dens or their man caves, and they realize, man, I've just spent the last 2 hours of my night trying to make this field. I don't want to miss out on the feature, so I've got to go. And what we just saw right there was everybody anxious, the butterflies kicking in a little bit. And
can we call it the butterfly effect?
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. And now they've got it out of the way. Some drivers headed to pit road, making some repairs to their race cars. They're going to have to visit Boyd Tech next week or later on tonight to get them fixed for next week.
Got another cool fact from you from Steve Fawcett.
Bring it.
Back during Speed Weeks this year, they had a wreck where the barrel was hit and went to the side of a truck, and the person that was in the back didn't fall or spill its beer.
You know what? That did happen. I can back that fact up. It's funny. The gentleman with the beer, he rolled and fell all over the place, but he made sure not to spill that beer. And since he was in the pits, it was definitely a water. So let's just make that clear. But yeah, he did not spill any of his drink. That is for sure.
Good save by Ryan.
Dead serious though. You can go back, check Speed 51 or check Speedway video for the replay. Go back and watch Speed Weeks. And no, a barrel did go flying. Jerry Artuso hit one of the barrels back there that protects the blunt opening on the back straightaway wall. You can see the gap there on your screen. He hit the barrel, and it did fly into a passenger truck and do some severe damage. So that is why when you go to a racetrack, you never turn your back to the cars, and you always make sure you're parked in a safe location because you never know what can happen.
Oh, do me a favor. Look at the pace truck. Is it dog tracking in the corners? Is that pace truck dog tracking in the corners?
Wes, I think you've been to the Last Lap Saloon one too many times. It looks fine to me.
That pace truck has their rear end yawed out for me. I'm just double checking.
Well,
Yeah.
folks, Wes needs a new computer. So, Wes, I think we're getting ready to go back green flag racing, so that might correct your vision here a little bit. Stephen Hollinger, your race leader, with Ryan Pierce to his outside, the guy you're going to want to watch. But Stephen Hollinger, the little bone man, he gets a good start here. And here comes the 03 of Katuna into it now.
Paul, you're not going to confirm for me.
I didn't win him, man.
I hate you, Ryan.
I showed it. It was there. It was fine. It looks all right.
It's my computer, dang it. And we are about to go green flag racing. Steve Hollinger, the 051 of Ryan Pierce up front. And we are green, and we are rocking and rolling here at New Smyrna Speedway, making our way around this track here, around 3 and 4 to come around to lap 10, 11 to go.
Well, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, Wes's pace truck in his version of iRacing was the one that got hit by the barrel back during Speed Weeks. As we're halfway through this event, Stephen Hollinger setting the pace ahead of Ryan Pierce and Katuna there in the 03. Watching Eugene Tumanello right now race with Kenyon in the 99. Eugene, a young super stock driver coming out of the Tumanello family, a great family that's been around racing here at New Smyrna for a long time. He's not having the night he wanted, but he's a good young little racer. I expect him to win some real races once we get going later on this year. And Wes, have we figured out if we're taking just the winner out of these things, or are we taking a couple more guys?
We'll figure it out after the warm-up, I'm sure.
All right.
By the way, Austin Griffiths reminds us what happened at Citrus County. He said, that truck and barrel is nothing. We had a mini stock land on one of our pace cars.
That is true. That mini stock ramped over one of their light poles and went in midair on top of the pace car.
Who at that track thought that was a good idea?
If your friend ever invites you to your local short track, just go, because you never know what you're going to see. Support your short tracks, because it's good stuff. Dirt or asphalt, it don't matter. Just go to your short tracks, especially now. We all need your love.
All right, and Stephen Hollinger is your leader, followed up by Ryan Pierce and then Corey Katuna. That is your top three. Hollinger putting on a show here.
Wes, we're riding with Ryan Pierce, who's trying to chase down the 85. He knows he needs to win the race because he's not sure if second's going to be good enough to make it into the main event here later on tonight. So we don't even know. But the one thing I can tell you, folks, is if you win, you're in. So these guys going full bore for the win here tonight with about 5 laps to go here in this second consolation race, which is flying by as we're having a ton of fun up here in the booth.
It did change because the amount of people, and it didn't change until the end of the heats. The top 3 will move on.
Top three. All right. Top 3 from your B mains or your consolation races, last chance qualifiers, whatever the heck you want to call them. Top 3 going to move on here tonight. So the 03 of Katina, he's got the final spot right now. So the top 3, all that matter in this race.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, right after this, we are going to have a national anthem that comes straight from New Smyrna Speedway, and then we're going to grab real quick AMS roofing owner, or AWS roofing owner, Jesse Powers. We're going to have a couple of words with him. He is a supporting sponsor of VidaneTV, and if you would like to do the same thing, get a spotlight put on you, message VidaneTV on Facebook or Wes Rowdy Hogue on Facebook, and I can get you hooked up where we can get a spotlight on you, and Eugene Tumanello goes around in the back. And
oh, no, Tumanello in trouble. We'll see if that brings out a caution. So far, we are still green. Tumanello driving the old Oreo good wrench scheme. What a classic scheme that is. Tumanello having a rough night. He has not had the success that you would expect him to have here in this series so far. But Wes, the white flag is out. Final lap now for our top 3 to try to move on to tonight's main event. Stephen Hollinger brings it off to number 4, it looks like. Perhaps, yes, Stephen Hollinger, the little bone man, he's going to win this final last chance qualifier ahead of Ryan Pierce and Corey Katuna. Those 3 move on. Everybody else on your screen, they'll load it up and try again next week.
Yeah, some of these drivers are getting pretty frustrated. 3 weeks in a row, some of them aren't making the show. It's unfortunate, but hey, when you got about 50 cars showing up, not everybody's going to leave happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got about a 7-minute warm-up. Go ahead and grab your drinks, grab your food. We're about to have a national anthem brought to you from New Smyrna Speedway.
chaplain today for our invocation. Danny?
Let us pray. Our gracious and wonderful Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful weather that we have here tonight. We thank you for this great nation in which we live in, Lord. We are so blessed. We ask you, Lord, to protect the men and women who are defending this nation for us. Keep your hand upon them and guide them. Lord, we thank you for all the teams that are here tonight and all the men that worked all day on these cars to get them ready for this show. We ask you to bless those men. We ask you to bless those drivers. We ask you to protect all of them. And Lord, we thank you for Robert and Jane Harness who worked so hard to put all this stuff together through these weeks. We ask you to bless Robert and Jane for their very special blessing. But Lord, if there's anyone here tonight that doesn't know you as your very best friend, they don't know how much you love them, would you please reveal yourself to them? And Lord, whatever happens tonight, we'll give you all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And now for our national anthem, Annette Bouchard.
Please sing along if you would like. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, and all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a round of applause for Annette Bouchard for our beautiful national anthem here today. Thank you very much, Annette. Now a round of applause for our safety team as well. Hopefully this will be the last time we see them tonight.
Another beautiful rendition of the national anthem, Canadian national anthem, and American national anthem there, and another awesome, awesome shot of that dune buggy that you guys have down there. I really want to get one of those.
Yeah, that thing is a lot of fun. That is our multi-purpose buggy, which we hate that it gets used so much, but it's part of the show here at New Smyrna Speedway.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to drag in real quick as we promised. We're going to talk to Jesse Powers real quick. Jesse, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you guys.
Jesse is with AWS Roofing, and they are a proud sponsor of VidaneTV. Tell us a little bit more about AWS while we got a couple minutes.
We are located in Central Florida, right here in Edgewater, Florida. We've been in business for a little over 30 years. We do a lot of commercial and residential roofing, from flat roofing to metal roofs to shingle roofs.
All right. And what's the best way that people can get a hold of you?
Well, you got a few different ways. We got a Facebook page at AWS Roofing on Facebook, or we got a phone number, and it's going to be 386-423-3076.
All right, man. And you think you got anything for those boys tonight? You look fast in your heat.
I sure hope so. I've been going through a lot. I haven't actually been on iRacing all week. We've been slowly moving a house over. We just moved into my new house. This is the first time I've been on.
Anybody you would like to say hello to while we got you here?
Yeah, my wife and my dad, they're both watching.
All right. So hello to Miss Hannah Powers. And what's your father's name?
Randy Powers.
All right. Hello to Mr. Randy Powers. All right, buddy. Good luck tonight. We hope we could talk to you in the podium.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Well, Wes, we asked our faithfuls over on Facebook who they think is going to win, and of course, unanimously, everybody's saying Anthony Sergi. So our Facebook page is rooting for Anthony Sergi here tonight.
Anthony Sergi definitely has a following. I love every time I'm at the track, there is a group of fans in the stands with Anthony Sergi shirts on, and I love seeing that at local racetracks, seeing these drivers with their fans and their supporters. Shout out as well to Connie and Aaron Holmes. They're the parents of Bray Holmes. They got us on the big screen watching us. What you got, Paul?
That's awesome, man. It's so great to see so many people watching these. I got my own little fan club right inside who's watching the race and enjoying it. And folks, if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook and you want to give a shout out, make sure you leave a comment. We'll do our best here. As I'm expecting we're going to have some of those college hunks caution flags here during this main event, Wes.
All right, and I'm going to give you a starting lineup, ladies and gentlemen. This is for your 100-lap feature tonight. Starting pole will be the 56 of Brandon Morris. Second, 88 of Eric Purcell. Starting third, Joshua Kunzbeck in the 69. Starting fourth, the young and upcoming Tanner Thomas. Starting fifth, in the number 31, Dylan Canova. Starting sixth, tied for the points lead, the number 33 of Ryan Borgs. Starting seventh, the 98 of Cody Brinson. Starting eighth, Bruce Bennett in the 60. He usually has a target on his back. Starting ninth, the number 95 of Joshua Hart. And then rounding out your top five is the 08 of Nicholas Noggle. That is your top 10 that moves straight on from the feature, or from the qualifying to the feature. Then you're going to have Ryan Matthews rounding out, starting 11th. Blake Clouser 12th, Bray Holmes 13th, Jason Lester 14th, oh boy, starting 15th, Jesse Powers, Anthony Sergi starting 16th, 17th, and Nick Snyder, Jimmy Frazier, Kyle Pitts, and Dylan Martin round out the top 20. The field will be rounded off by Steve Hollinger, Dalton Smith, Ryan Pierce, Adam Boltmeyer, and Corey Katina. That rounds out your field for week 3 of the World Series of eRacing. We're about to go green flag racing.
Hey, Wes, you want a fun fact here real quick?
Okay.
Brandon Morris, winner over at 417 Speedway in the Wheelman Sportsman Series race, leads us to the green flag here over Eric Purcell, third place point man. Watch that 25 Tanner Thomas in the David Rogers throwback paint scheme there. But Wes, we got crash. We got a crash. Oh, upside down is one car, and everybody else scatters behind him. Well, that was bad.
It looked like Bruce Bennett in the 60 looked like he went to cut low on the car in front of him of Cody Brinson and just barely clipped him, sending Brinson up, sending the 60 of Bennett up, and then all heck broke loose. If you remember, week 1, those two had a lot of drama together. Maybe that was payback.
Definitely couldn't have been. We're going to take a look from the blimp, a little bit slow motion here. You can see the 60 is up high, 98 on down low, and they head on down into turn number 1. You can see he called it just like it was. Wes, the 60 kind of dipped on down low. Looks like he almost turned wet. Oh, man, flips upside down, lands on top of the 33. definitely a tough break. You see Lester is involved as well, has a little bit of back end damage, nothing up towards the front as he backs into the 60 as well. So a lot of guys just kind of driving on through the wreck. You see the 85 gets spun around again there by Bruce Bennett, and a lot of tore up race cars early on. But hey, you know what? These guys have a reset, so some of the guys with lighter damage, they're going to be able to run down pit road, fix some of the virtual sheet metal, and some of those guys might be able to smash that reset button, get a brand new race car, and see if they can just kind of nurse it on around here for the next 96 laps.
So, Wes, do you think that was Bruce Bennett making a statement here?
It was, and race control was also made aware of that. Bruce basically openly set up that was payback for week 1. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happened. Now, if you are just joining us, during the pre-show we talked about it, adding the reset to tonight's competition so that drivers who get involved in maybe a lap 1 incident like we just saw aren't done for the night. Unfortunately, that happened to Anthony Sergi last week during the Tour Modified portion of Speed Weeks. Sergi, winner of Week 1 in the Street Stocks, taken out on lap 1, didn't have a reset. I got to give him credit for sitting on pit road trying to repair the thing. I think he made it out halfway through the last lap, but now giving these guys a reset to get back out there. So the message has been relayed to Cody Brinson from Bruce Bennett. That rivalry is heating up. Rivalries are going to become a thing here, so make sure you tune in and week out. Daytona Dodge pace car is off. Brandon Morris, the sportsman veteran, takes us back to the green flag ahead of Eric Purcell. And watch, it says Patrick Thomas on your screen, but that is Tanner Thomas in the 25. Top 2 breakaway, West side-by-side battle for third.
Battles all over this track right now, Ryan, as they try to battle for that bottom spot. Cars everywhere. That bottom battle for third has ceased. Now the battle for fifth. Dylan Canova working the inside of Joshua Hart.
Joshua Hart trying to make his presence felt in the 95 car. He's one that would not surprise me to get up there and mix things up tonight. How about Joshua Koonsbeck in the 69, though? He's into third. The side-by-side battle between the 70 and the 25. The 25, Tanner Thomas. Whoa, we got the 70 out of shape, losing a couple of spots now. Nicholas Noggle, Wes's pick to win the race, getting up into the top mix now. Wes, a lot of scrambling throughout the pack, but we're still clean and green.
Nick Noggle is a veteran on the short tracks. He actually, I believe he brought home a win during Speed Weeks, Ryan.
That he did.
He is a veteran here at New Smyrna Speedway in real life and the virtual New Smyrna Speedway, as he's putting on one heck of a show, as you see some drivers trying to battle their way up through the field, possibly some guys that didn't get the starting position that they want, but don't look now. Ryan Matthews already from 11th to 5th.
Wes, I stand corrected. Brandon Morris, our current leader, he didn't win at 417. He was involved in a big controversial wreck, which is why he was on top of mind. It was actually Chad Rutherford who won the sportsman race at 417, but Brandon Morris was a contender in that race. Thank you to Facebook for correcting me on that. Brandon Morris was involved in a big wreck there with Brooke Storer towards the late stages that set up a thrilling finish over there, so my apologies there.
Oh, man, Matthews in the 51 makes contact with Tanner Thomas coming through 1 and 2. Don't be surprised if you see a receipt here, possibly, if Tanner Thomas can get back to him. He's got a body slammed him there for that 4th position. Ryan Matthews making it known that he wants to go back-to-back here at VidaneTV's Edgewater Screens New Smyrna Series World Series of eRacing.
You know what? I think it's going to be tough for Ryan tonight. If you remember,
not for me to say that name anymore tonight.
If you remember back to the Esports 100 that we hosted on the New Smyrna Facebook page, he dominated the event. He led every single lap, and he started 11th. He actually had to qualify his way in, which I don't think we really expected, Wes, but I think he was hoping for that invert so he'd go and dominate. If he wins tonight, he's going to have to earn it, so keep your eyes on the Ryan Matthews automobile. So he has some work to do, but Brandon Morris is your leader, the Wheelman Sportsman Series regular up front.
I don't want to say it. I'm just going to say great racing right now here, Ryan, all throughout the field. Cody Brinson trying to make his way up in the 98, back up through the pack after that incident there on the first lap. He's on the inside now of the 9 of Blake Clouser as they battle further back in the pack. That's basically the only battle on the track right now, Ryan, as the drivers have made their way into a rhythm, have gotten single file and just logging some laps, so to say.
Yeah, we are having some great racing here so far as we watch Blake Clouser take a battle here with another contender. Blake Clouser now starting to drop back through the field just a little bit.
Got the 051 and Ryan Pierce working the inside of Blake Clouser, trying to work his way back up through the field. Great little battle further back.
Hang on. Wes.
Uh-oh.
What are you eating?
I knew it was coming.
Payback is a son of a gun, brother.
Prize. Had to. There's a long running joke with Paul. I can tell when he's eating, and I call him out right away. He just got me back.
Wes, I hope you're eating some delicious Dustin's barbecue right now, because I could definitely go for some if you want to send some down to the next booth.
No, but I'm actually eating some fries that I think you can buy at Dustin's Barbecue.
Well, you know what? Good enough. Oh, we got a caution here on lap number 20.
Nick Noggle in the 08.
Oh, Wes, your pick to win. The jinx is officially on once again here.
It is, and he just got loose out of turn 2 all on his own. Couldn't get it collected, and he collects the 20 of Anthony Sergi. Paul's going to get us that replay really quickly. Tough break there for Anthony Sergi and Nick Noggle, two really fast race cars out here.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at the 08 Nick Noggle, and you can see he's all by himself. Not really anything going on, and you can see he just hits a little bit of French fry grease that's on the track and pivots himself on around, sends himself. Oh, you see the looks like Anthony Sergi. I think that was Anthony Sergi. I couldn't tell with all that damage on the front of that car. See if we can click on over to him.
Why you're not allowed to eat on the job?
gives Anthony Sergi a little bit of a tag. Matches that left side with the right side damage there. Holy moly, there's a bunch of damage going on there. But looking at Noggle's car, the 08 doesn't look too bad. Seems like there's a little bit of a dent, a little bit of a scuff mark up on the front, and a little bit of caved in action on the left hand side. But not all worse for wear. Should be able to get some kind of decent finish. We still got about 3/4 of this race left, so we'll see what Nick Noggle can do here.
Right, I got a request from Sunshine State Racing when we get back to go racing in real life.
What do you got?
They like to throw in-car cameras in other cars, right?
They do.
All right, if I buy another dirt car, I'm requesting an in-car camera in my front-wheel drive dirt car, because they never do them in the front-wheel drives. You got to see my hand gestures inside that car, guys.
You know what? I don't know that the fans need to see that.
It's pure entertainment.
No, well, watch at your own risk, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you saw in that wreck, Anthony Sergi was involved. He was the winner a couple of weeks ago when we ran Street Stocks here on week number 1 of the Esports World Series here. So Sergi has had 2 wrecks in a row. And Wes, I think after the dominating win that he had, we expected him to be really good, but he's had a lot of trouble the last couple of weeks. Do you think he rebounds over the next couple of weeks or not?
And he needs to if he wants to have any chance in this points battle here, as we are back green. The battle of Ryan Matthews punched the 56.
Oh!
Brandon Morris to go around.
So Brandon Morris gets a little bit of a taste of his own medicine there after he was involved in that wreck over at 417. See, I had thought he had won the race, but he was involved in a controversy, and now he's got another one here tonight as Ryan Matthews gets into him. We'll get Paul to fire us up a replay. Paul, what did you see down there?
Saw some more wrecked cars for the College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving crew to haul on away. We're going to take a look at the instant replay here in real time as we are looking back at the 51 of Ryan Matthews and the 56 there. Right on the restart, heading on down into turn number 1. And man, it's 2 guys going for the same piece of real estate. The 56 wanted to come down, but the 51 was already there. We'll back that up one more time, see if we can't take a quick little peek at the 56 machine. Boom, we'll switch cameras real quick. Give it to you real time. Heading on down to turn number 1 again. Just right up into that nose and Little bit of a love tap there from the 69. Doesn't look too bad, and Bruce Bennett does a great job. The 60 machine not hitting anybody. The 03, you see Katina Hughes spun around there, but it doesn't look like the damage was too bad, and it doesn't look like there's any damage on the Morris machine of number 56. So definitely good news for that. And there you see Sergi, brand new race car. He went down pit road at looks like probably the last caution there used that reset, because you can see that basically is a great prime example of what the reset does. You pull down pit road, you hit the, what is it, Shift R, I think it is, and gives you a brand new race car. So that's something that a lot of these drivers have in their back pocket that they're going to be able to use throughout the evening.
Well, tough break there for Joshua Koonsbeck in the 69, running up near the front, and he's a pretty good little dirt racer and pretty good iRacer, and he was caught up in that too, kind of came to a halt. We'll have to see what race control is going to do here. There was what appeared to be contact between Ryan Matthews, who, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, started 11th on the field, and by lap 29 is already up to, right now, the lead. But Wes will let us know if there has been any calls from race control, because he's able to monitor that for us.
All right, they are calling it netcode. If you're not familiar what netcode is, it's where there's kind of a buffer sometimes in between these cars where they make contact, but they don't actually make contact. And that was basically what was seen there, where sometimes there's contact made when there's not actually really contact made. That's the one downside of it being online sometimes. And Brandon Morris got just pushed to the back.
We saw that happen quite a bit last night in the Old Dominion reunion race, and it was kind of hard to explain to some of the, I don't want to call them old-timers, but they were definitely old school. Say, well, what happened to him? So, well, he glitched. So, well, man, these kids are going to be using this when they get back to real racing. He's going to get up and somebody pancake him in the wall and say, sorry, buddy, I glitched. Green flag in the air.
Yeah, green flag for Ryan Matthews. Started 11th, has worked his way to the front. But please don't think that somebody's not going to get him back. I'll tell you what, as fast as he is, these guys know they need to beat him. And that's not the first car that he may have netcoded in, so to say, throughout this race. So Ryan had no problem using those fenders, working his way up to the lead.
Well, Wes, as this race continues, don't be surprised if someone net codes Ryan Matthews up out of the way, because that might be the only way to beat this guy. When he gets out in front, he is hard to beat. He's like Ron Hornaday on these restarts. You can see the gap that he's put over.
Contact in the back! David Hollister gets into Nick Snyder, and he saves it off a 4. Sorry, Ryan. He clipped his left rear, and somehow Nick Snyder pancaked the wall but didn't spin it out.
No, we've got action all over the place, and we're going to need to keep our eye on the 69, the 56, towards the back of the field here to see if they can make their way back up through the front. A wild moment there that we didn't quite catch here on our end of things, but a scramble, and we continue under green flag. A lot of green flag racing tonight. Night and day comparison from the Esports 100 about a month ago. So these drivers have done some great work practicing, getting used to driving these cars, and we're seeing some great racing here at this point, Wes. But Ryan Matthews, once again at the front here during the New Smyrna Esports World Series.
Yep, Jason Lester has made his way down to pit road, and there he will probably stay for the rest of the event. He was pretty upset with somebody, and because of that, he tried to intentionally take them out and did not make it, as a caution is out. 20 is involved.
So we got a caution now for Anthony Sergi. Boy, oh boy. Winner week number 1, and it's just gone downhill for him since then. Here on lap 37, we're under yellow. Tough break for Anthony Sergi. Winner week 1, and boy, he came in tonight 8th in the standings, and this is probably going to hurt his championship. Oh boy, it appears he may have gotten upside down. A wild wreck here. We'll let Paul take us through it.
Spoiler alert as Ryan looks over my shoulder and sees the replay before you get to see it. Shameful display. But you can see Sergi down low on the number 24 machine. They cross the stripe right here, head on down into turn number 1, and the 24 looks like he wants that bottom side, but doesn't realize the 20's there. Turns him into the wall, does a... well, in honor of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 getting remade and remastered coming out in, I think, September, does a little bit of a board slide there on the outside wall. Yeah, I'm one of the cool kids. I know what some of the skateboarding tricks are, but definitely some big damage to the underside of that race car as well as the front. You see he's trying to drive up the track to get that car spun around right in front of the Daytona Dodge Pace truck, but tough break for Tony, or Anthony. Tony works too, I guess. Tough break for Anthony Sergi in that number 20 machine. Rough night all night long.
Paul, you know what's crazy about that? That wreck looked very eerily similar to a wreck he had here in real life at New Smyrna Speedway about 5, 6, 7 years ago now. He got hooked by David Rogers just like that at the same part of the racetrack, and he went into the wall in turn number 1 and ripped down the catch fence over there, landing on his side. A wild wreck. You can see it on YouTube. Search Anthony Sergi on YouTube. You'll see it. But that was eerily similar. It's a good thing the catch fence physics don't come into play here.
Yeah, most definitely. The only time I think I would ever even think about tearing down the catch fence is
unless you're Jeff Gordon at Talladega.
Well, there's that too, but a buddy of mine who used to race in Georgia, he races up here in the SK division in Stafford, Matt Vassar, he keeps telling me, he comes, I help him out with the car every now and again when I'm not working with the Rent a Race Car boys. And he's like, come on, fat boy, if I win this race, you're going to climb the fence with me. And it's like, I don't think I'm going to do that.
We know a lot about climbing fences, and Ryan, we're not going to go there.
Yeah, you know what? I've never seen anyone climb the fence at New Smyrna. Oh, come to think of it, yes, I have. It was you, Wes.
You know what? If I go down in history of the only guy that tried to climb a fence, and it was after winning a spectator race, you other drivers have some work to do, I'll tell you that.
All about the personalities in real racing and in sim racing.
You're absolutely right. All right, Patrick Thomas and Ryan Matthews will be your front row here. Leader gets to choose his lines, so Ryan Matthews will be on the outside here. Tanner Thomas, will be starting. Don't be surprised to see Tanner become a contender here as we come around to lap 42.
Well, I think Tanner knows that the restart's going to be important, and he gets on the gas. He's got to be careful not to jump the start. He backs up. He lets the 51 go. He settles back in. But how about our players now in row number 2?
Caution's out. Big wreck in the back.
We got a big wreck in the back. Never mind. Oh, up on his side is the 03. Brandon Morris is in it. Dalton Smith, Jesse Powers among those. We'll have to get another shot of it here. But, well, Wes, it started so good, and now here come those dreaded cautions. Paul is earning his beer money in the truck. He'll get us a replay here in just a moment.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get in touch with the College Hunks guys and maybe see if they can sponsor our blimp, because we're gonna take a look at this at the blimp view again. Concentrate again on the 03. You saw we gave it to you live just as they were getting done with the wrecking there. Another little board slide action there from the 03. But we'll take a look. They get the green flag out and everybody throttles back up, and you can see there's a big gap in front of the 03. Up until the, okay, I see exactly what happens now. The Texaco Haviland Dodge 8 car slowed up for one reason or another, and there was some contact. It looks like a lot of guys bottled up just a bit. Rewind it just again one more time here. A little bit of fast forward. And here we'll take a look at the start again. We're going to look at the onboard here of Corey Cutina, and you can see cars are already wrecking up front, heading on down into turn number 1. Does his best to get on the binders and slow that car down. Does not get it done, and there you see he gets, I believe that's a 56 there he tagged. It is a 56. 24 looks like he might have been involved too, so tough break for those guys. About halfway through this race. It all depends really whether or not these guys still have a reset that they're going to be able to use.
All right, we're really quickly, guys, if you don't mind. We're going to get a word with Ryan Matthews. Ryan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy, tell us about your drive, 11th to 1st, and how many cars did you have to wreck to get up there?
Well, the first lap, I don't know if it was the first lap or like within the first 5 laps, but they were wrecking each other up there. Got by clean, picked up 4 spots, and then got up to 3rd on that long green flag run we had, and then caution came out. I don't know what happened the 2nd, so that put me up to 2nd, and then going to turn 1 on that restart. I don't know what happened. I guess it was netcode. It looked like it. And it just sent the 56 around. So he's pretty pissed at me. But I didn't even get a 0x from it at all. So there's not much I could have done different there. But
we called it netcode as well here in the booth. You were a good 6 inches to a foot away from him when it ended up happening. So yeah. Maybe you'll pull off this win from 11th to 1st, and you'll stop trying to sandbag in the qualifying.
Yeah, we'll see. This dude's starting 2nd. He's pretty mad at me as well, so we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Good luck, buddy. Don't end up on the hook.
Oh boy, Ryan Matthews starting to get some rivals out here, Wes. And Paul, you mentioned Tony Hawk in your last replay review, and I think we just saw the 03 do a wall ride there on that last caution.
Yeah, 100%. That's another trick I know the name of, but definitely couldn't actually perform in real life. But Ryan Matthews with another restart, green flag in the air, heading on down into turn number 1 with about a 10-car length lead over Dylan Canova in the 31 car.
Look at that, Canova coming basically out of nowhere here around the outside. The outside crew, the place to be here on these restarts, just like in real life. And now Canova up to that second spot. Tanner Thomas did not get a great restart. Last week, Tanner Thomas played the, I'm going to wait back, kind of the Talladega style, wait back, let the big one happen, and unfortunately he was taken out. Tonight, he's just been up in the thick of things, trying to make it happen, and right now he rides in that 4th position, West. The 25, going to be one to watch. I think at this point, he might be the one to get Ryan Matthews.
We are coming to halfway this time by. Canova did a really great job in our truck series on Monday nights. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Man,
wait a Noggle.
Oh, Nicholas Noggle having a tough time here. He might have to start playing Boggle here on Wednesday nights because Nick Noggle's not been his night.
It has not. He got a little bit of help from the 88. It's Paul's going to get that replay for us.
Just pulling it up right now, the College Hunks Instant Replay brought to you by VidaneTV. And well, I can't really tell if the 88 gives him any kind of help or not. That's definitely rather close. I want to take a look at the onboard cockpit view of the number 88, and that'll tell us. Yeah, all right. It does look like he gave him a little bit of help right there. So he sends the 08 around. It doesn't look like there's too much damage on either cars though. So it looks like these guys are going to be able to get off scat-free. A little bit. You see the. What is that? That is the 051. Gets a little bit of. See the left side of the front nose of that car gets a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy here.
College Hunks, Hall and Junk boys. I'll tell you what, they would be in business if they were here at the virtual New Smyrna Speedway, but they're not. But they could be in your homes, though, hauling your junk, moving your house, whatever is needed. Call up College Hunks, hauling junk and moving. Bobby Dooley, he actually plugged in the stream on the New Smyrna stream. He actually plugged the actual office number because I've been giving everybody his personal cell phone number. So call the office number and not his personal cell phone number. But if you call his personal cell phone number, call him at 1 a.m. and ask him if his refrigerator is running.
Or just ask him when we're going to see him in a Mod Mini at New Smyrna once we open
When he fixes the transmission that I broke.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up, but you did. So, yeah, the last time the 35 Bobby Dooley car ran, Wes drove it to a last-place finish. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, that is a College Hunk, hauling junk and moving. We are being asked to repeat the number again from Bobby Dooley's telephone number there. So that is 386-200-5230. That is area code 38. Hold on. We're back. 386-200-5230. Promise. It's a call from the food, nothing else. Now I got my throat cleared. I got, I guess, a fry down there, and it's cleared up now, Ryan.
Well, no wonder we've had so many cautions here tonight. Wes has been eating French fries, and the grease is leaking down to the racetrack, and that explains everything here. But, folks, we got 45 laps to go, and big thank you to Edgewater Screen and Super Spray Pressure Wash, some of our big sponsors here at the New Smyrna Speedway Esports World Series. Of course, big thank you to Skip's Boots, one of our actual sponsors at the New Smyrna Speedway. You can see his billboard over there in turn number 2 here on the racetrack. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, Ryan Matthews and Dylan Canova making his presence felt here. Ryan Matthews, boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, if there's a guy that can restart in this series, it is that 51. Good luck catching him, everybody. The battle's on for second behind him.
They are side by side throughout the field here, trying to get spaced out a little bit. That battle for second is going to start as Tanner Thomas is getting kind of pushed back throughout the pack. He's not having the best start as he wanted as he gets shuffled all the way back to fourth. As now Bray Holmes, another young driver here, is on his bumper going into.
Man, don't count out Bray Holmes. He knows his way around the real speedway here, and he's done pretty good in this iRacing stuff. Josh Hart up to third. We talked about him in the pre-show. He was kind of one of those guys on my radar, a Mod Mini driver here at the new Smyrna Speedway, up to third in that red car as he tries to get up here. But Ryan Matthews right now with about a half-second lead, a little over half a second, as they come down the front straightaway to complete lap number 59. So lap starting to wind down here. Hopefully we can get some more green flag racing. Points update for you right now. Anthony Sergi going to finish about the 24th position. That might take him out of the running for the championship. As Sergi, opening night winner, struggling. And now the battle for second, Wes, heating up between Canova and this 95 of Josh Hart.
And I wouldn't count anybody on the championship here, and that Ryan Matthews actually may not be making one of the weeks here in the future.
You're very right about that. So who knows? Ryan Matthews going to get these guys his own handicap.
He might, and it's the way it looks. They might need it as he begins to gap the field. Getting the leader being able to choose their lane to where they want to start and getting that jump on the restart is really helping out Ryan Matthews.
Well, at this point, Ryan Matthews could restart fifth and still be in the lead by turn one the way he's been getting these green flags. Matthews is, if you want to think of somebody good on a restart, think Ron Hornaday. He was the master of restarts in the Craftsman Truck Series, and now we have Ryan Matthews, who's the master of restarts here in the esports series here at New Smyrna. The green flag comes out, and he's got a 2-car length lead before anybody knows what's going on. It's incredible to watch.
It is, and now hopefully these guys can, we're coming down to very close to being about 70 to go here in about 7 laps. Hopefully we can get into a nice green flag.
Green flag run would be good, but just like I've done the last couple of times I've been on with you, I'm going to guarantee a late race caution will bunch things up and bring that excitement back. So maybe now is a good chance to take a breather and gear up for those final 30 laps, because I guarantee there will be at least one more caution, probably a green-white checker or two before this is all said and done, as the majority of the field still out there running. 19-plus cars on the lead lap here at the New Smyrna. Make that 23-plus cars still on the lead lap. So that means that Calamity's just around the corner.
It is, and if you are new to VidaneTV, thank you so much for watching. We do this for your entertainment. Go to our page, hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We would love to have your entertainment and have your eyes on our entertainment, I should say, and allow us to put on these shows for you each and every week. So quick update on Cody Brinson. Cody Brinson having a rough time earlier on lap 1 with Bruce Bennett. He's worked his way up that 98 machine all the way to the top 6, working on the bumper of Bray Holmes for the top 5. And Bruce Bennett is in 7th. Lord.
Yeah, and if you were here on the first lap, those two got into it. Bruce Bennett sending that message early. I want to give a shout out here real quick. Kurt Steele rooting for Rich Klauser, or Blake Klauser, I should say, on our Facebook page. He's hoping Blake can make some moves here. Blake, as he battles with Fraser's number 6 car. Blake is in the 10th position right now. So up into the top 10 with about 30 laps to go. Blake still has a shot, and Joshua Koonsbeck right behind him in the 69 trying to rebound from being involved in one of the early cautions. And, of course, Jesse Powers would be right behind him. So all those guys we talked about throughout much of the evening running right there just outside the top 10 trying to make their presence felt, Wes. But talking about making a presence, how about that 51? Ryan Matthews just putting him up and putting him down right now. Oh, a little bit of contact further back. We got some smoke, and we got Anthony Sergi in trouble again up there, right in front of the race leader, going to bring out the caution. And Dylan Martin also involved in a caution. Wes, I think we had 2 different wrecks at the same time there.
We did. Anthony Sergi not having the night that he was looking for tonight, multiple laps down, and unfortunately looped it around as well. The 69 of Joshua Koonsbeck. Looks like he went around as well. He may have gotten a little bit of help on his from from the 85. The 85 kind of gave him the punt, as well as other vehicles being involved as well.
Loading it up here on the instant replay, brought to you by College Hunks, and we'll take a look as soon as I can get that button to work. Bam, there it is. Real time. Here we go. You can see the 85 gets into the back of the 69, and we're going to back that up one more time because that was pretty quick. And we're going to hit the old slow motion button. So we're going to focus on the 87. You can see the 69 gets a little bit of a tag from the 85. The 07 checks up just a bit, and he gets sent by the 091, I believe it was, the black and red car behind them. What we're going to do from here is we're going to switch on over to the camera focusing on Anthony Sergi. There you see him at that time. He was already around facing the wrong direction. So we'll back this up just a little bit. It's the magic of the internet, and oh man, you can see Corey Katina closes up big time, gives him a shot in the back bumper, and just sends him on around. So you got to wonder if maybe Sergi was slowing up for the wreck in front of him. There you can see very aggressively spinning that car around, and gives her slightly a little bit too much, and sends that car back around facing the other way.
So yeah, just like I said, 2 different wrecks at the same time. Great job, Paul, in the truck, bringing us all the action so that we don't miss a thing here on VidaneTV.
I do my best.
You've earned your beer at the end of the night, buddy.
Excellent. Wes must be downstairs checking with race control. Jared Bolliard and Kyle Worldwide Young. Very excited to have those guys on board helping us kind of administer this race and kind of be act as race control. It looks like the 20 may very well be falling to the back of the end of the longest line here. We might have to check with Wes to see if he comes back with race control with an update.
Yeah, Steve Hollinger also going to the back there. He was the cause of that by getting into the back of Joshua Koonsbeck. So Steve Hollinger has moved to the back as well.
Well, it's been wild and crazy like we predicted out here, Wes, and we still have 25 laps to go, and this is where the meat and potatoes starts to come into play. This is what we've been racing for, this final 25 laps. At this point, everybody getting themselves in position to try to win it. Of course, Ryan Matthews making his way through the field. He started 11th. He's got the race lead, and now he's got that hungry pack of drivers behind him. Wes, who do you think has the best shot to knock Ryan Matthews off the top spot?
A flat tire.
I mean,
I was just going to say, that was going to be close to my pick. The only guy that can beat Ryan Matthews right now is Ryan Matthews.
Xfinity Internet, whoever his internet provider is, whoever his electric provider is. Oh, and Jason Lester!
Oh, what the heck was that all about?
Wow, man, Jason Lester wrecking the field on purpose.
So Jason Lester just tried to be the guy to beat Ryan Matthews, and it backfired.
Jason Lester just wrecked the field on purpose.
That was unfortunate.
That's why certain people are typically under a fine microscope. It's because of
some people are under a microscope because of stuff like that.
Lester, 42 laps down, ladies and gentlemen, and he did that. I'm sure that'll get him booted from the server and probably from the series.
Just, man, Jason Lester being Jason Lester. Tried to take out the leader on purpose, instead took out everybody else as well. Again, Jason Lester being Jason Lester.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We saw him sitting on pit road, and I can't even say, well, maybe he rolled off. He was parked halfway down pit road. We're on board with the cockpit right now. You can hear him throttling up. And he knows that car's rolling. He knows exactly what's going on because he's on the wheel. The wheel's going back and forth. You can hear the pack coming. And just turns right up in the track, right in front. That was a boneheaded move.
That was uncalled for.
That was 100% uncalled for. I could probably go the rest of the series without seeing that kind of BS on the racetrack, even if it is a game or a simulation.
I'll tell you this now. This is why he has the reputation that he has on the real racetrack, and this is why he's been banned from so many damn tracks. It's stuff like this that Jason Lester does.
I mean, the guy's been out for 42 laps, just sitting there, and I get it. He's probably listening to the broadcast. Oh, I'm going to try to spice it up for these guys. We're not saying we want to see someone beat Ryan Matthews that way. We want to see a good, solid race, and that was just uncalled for. And I believe that might be the last of Jason Lester that we see here in this series, as race control is probably, Wes, you can confirm, they probably booted him from the server.
Yeah, he won't be back here on Wednesday nights or any night that we have anything to do with. That's just immature and it's uncalled for, but that's Jason Lester.
Well, I'm not with that craziness. I'm not sure who that directly impacted, but he missed the target. Ryan Matthews still leading, and West, if you can bring him down in the room, I'd love to talk to him and get his peace of mind here.
Nah, you know what? Because we know he's going to drop some F-bombs, and I'm not going to do that.
Not Jason. I'd like to hear from Ryan.
We'll talk to Ryan in a moment. We're taking care of the toxic trash that's in this group real quick, so we'll take care of that and we'll get to him.
All right, so we'll try this again here, folks. Well, I'm sure we'll hear from Ryan at the end of the race, as he's got a race to still win. And folks, we apologize for that. That is not the kind of product we wish to bring to you. As we're going to go back to green flag racing here on lap 82. Ryan Matthews again. There you go. Another great restart as he heads down into turn number 1. Look at Joshua Hart down on the bottom. Oh, into the wall. 57, Bray Holmes. Tough break there. The field scatters. We continue under the green flag. And now we got a new second place runner. That's Stephanie Canova right up in there. And Joshua Hart making his presence felt in the 95.
Yeah, you saw it right off the start there, Ryan. It was 3 wide for the second place spot, and it ended up going to the 31. 57 went way up high and got a little bit loose, hit up in the wall, and you can see right now on your screen a lot of damage to the right side of that 57 machine. As you see the 8 car gets loose and gets turned from behind him as he gets spun around. He's looking the wrong way. The Tesco Haviland 8 car, as it were, still green, no yellow at this point. Doesn't look like anybody else is going to fall in behind here. He gets the car he gets the car rolling anyway, and heads on down to the corner. We stay green.
The admins have deemed the track is still clear, so here you go, Ryan.
And there's the caution.
Second place, man, is Joshua Hart as the caution does come out. Caution is out. Now we'll send Paul back to his post here to figure out, we'll get us a replay of what happened there. Big scatter. We saw the cone go flying, the orange cone getting involved here tonight. We've seen a little bit of everything here at the new Smyrna Speedway tonight. And now we're going to have another late race restart with Ryan Matthews.
And I apologize for any language you may have not liked from myself or my absence there. With myself, I helped run this league. We helped put this together, and I had to take care of that real quick. So when you act like a 5-year-old, you get treated like a 5-year-old, and you get kicked out of the class like a 5-year-old. So we like to put on some good competitive racing here. We leave that crap for the other tracks. I haven't banned him yet.
Ryan, you ever hear, like when you were a kid, hear somebody getting yelled at so hard that you actually feel like you're getting yelled at, and it makes you feel really bad?
You know, I would tell him to grow up to weigh like 5'4", but you know, I think he's past that age at this point. I'm just over it, and I apologize for all the viewers. I see, you know, Patrick said this just destroyed my kid's good run. He's upset, and he has every right to be. You know, Tanner works his tail off. Tanner's out here trying to have a good run, and as everybody is out here, and Lester was just Jason Lester there. It is what it is at that point, guys. We apologize for what we saw there.
Yeah, and we don't mean anything on any of the drivers, but that was just blatant. I mean, he's sitting on pit road and he just charged up the track, so it's hard to defend somebody who would want to do that, especially in the sim world here, when it just didn't make any sense.
All right, just talked to a couple drivers there. They're pretty upset, as they should be. All right, guys, we are back up and rolling here. We're going to try to end this as good as we can, and again, I apologize for viewers, and I apologize for those that had to see that, and it is what it is, you know. Some people are born with mental deficiencies, and Jason Lester will pray for you. But back up front, we have Ryan Borgs and Ryan Matthews, somehow our points leaders, leading the field coming here with 8 to go.
Go figure. And where did the 33 come from? How about Dalton Smith up to the 4th position? Dalton Smith, one of the regulars here at New Smyrna Speedway, running in 4th. Pace truck is off. Less than 10 laps to go to try to settle it. Ryan Matthews, Ryan Borgs, the co-point leaders 1 and 2, as Ryan Matthews gets the jump going into turn number 1.
Ryan Matthews has been a league of his own since moving up to the front here, Ryan Stevens. But the only driver that has had anything for him throughout this season, they're back in the back.
Around goes
Brinson goes around. Cody Brinson not having the race that he wanted to have since lap 1.
And I just saw Tanner Thomas exit the screen. His good night has gone for not here. The 8's around once again. Caution out. And Wes, that's putting us into a green-white checkered territory as these laps are starting to wind down.
Take a quick look at the College Hunks instant replay focus in 98 car. See the 56 is behind him, but he gets looks like he gets a little bit of a bump from down low. The 03 Corey Katina sends him around up into the outside wall, and you see the 25 was up there as well. Gets a tag from the 98 and then tags the outside wall himself. So a lot of damage for those guys, especially being back in the pack. I think the chances for them winning this race this evening are done.
All right, just listening there, 0-3, the caution goes on him, so you'll see him go to the end of the longest line here. And we're going to have a green-white checkered, man. This race did not go as planned. Did not go as planned here. Again, I apologize. And ladies and gentlemen, you will not see any more of that. What we're going to see is nothing but great racing here at New Smyrna Speedway every Wednesday night in different series. And we're going to make sure that trash is taken out and we have a fair race every week. So your Cody Brinsons, even Bruce Bennett, I think those two just had something going on together between them. I think they got that taken care of. You're going to see that in the real races as well as a virtual racing. You're gonna see that happen, unfortunately. But your Ryan Matthews, your Dalton Smiths, your Blake Clausers, your Nick Noggles, your Tanner Thomas. You're going to see them every Wednesday here, and I can't help but be grateful for these drivers that are still rocking and rolling here, and apologize.
All right, so we got less than 5 laps to go once we get to green flag racing here. Ryan Matthews, Ryan Borgs, the top 2 in the standings. The cream rising to the top here tonight after a wild turn of events here. So Matthews 51, Borgs 33. Nick Snyder has worked his way into 3rd, and Dalton Smith, who qualified, I believe, out of one of the last chance races a couple hours ago, has made his way up into 4th. So good showing there for the Pro Late Model regular here at the New Smyrna Speedway. So things have taken a turn here after that crazy incident with the 7 coming off of the pit road and doing what happened there. That's mixed things up a little bit.
We're not going to say his name anymore. He's not grateful enough to have his name said anymore. So up front is Ryan Matthew and Ryan Borgs, your 2 points leaders, going to battle it out here. Let's see if Ryan Borgs has anything for him. That threw our entire rhythm off. I apologize. Me and Ryan are still kind of lost. Ryan, let's get back at this. 2 to go, and this is not a legal green-white checkered, Ryan. This is a normal green-white checkered. 2 to go.
It just doesn't matter what. Oh, contact. There goes the 33 up the track. Here comes Nick Snyder. That's good. No, we got trouble. Half the pack is wrecking on the back straightaway. Blake Clauser's in it. Bruce Bennett's in it. Caution is out. Oh, Dalton Smith getting loose and crash again. Oh, man. Well, Wes was trying to tell you guys that wasn't an official green-white checker, but now we're about to set up for one. That was unfortunate as well. A bunch of guys got loose there off of turn number 2 from about 4th on back.
Paul's going to get us a replay here. The College Hunks Hauling Junk replay. And for those who are a fan of sim racing, we had some awesome action coming to you Thursday night as well, which is tomorrow night. But let's see what happened here, Paul.
Yeah, just pull the instant replay. We're going to focus in on the 60. He's the one that run around. But definitely you can see the 08 Noggle, 56, 07, 32 right up in here in Calamity Corner, Calamity Straightaway, Calamity Racetrack, I think is what we're going to coin it. Take a look at it real time here. You see the 60 comes down just a little bit, gets turned off the front of the 9, and they get pushed up in the wall. 57 involved again, 091 involved, and I believe that car that was that back behind them, there he is, Nick Noggle coming up and doing a kickflip in front of us.
Paul, what do we got going on tomorrow night?
What is tomorrow night? Tomorrow night's Thursday night?
Yes, the NEP.
NEP. So NEP actually got themselves a they shifted their division name. They got a new sponsor with Shifting Design and Marketing. So it's actually the Shift North Series, which is so much better than the 28-syllable name that they had beforehand, because that was definitely a mouthful. But they're going to be racing here tomorrow night, championship night for those guys. John Peters in the 51 car has already wrapped up the championship because he won about 87 races this season. But he's going to be your champion, but we're still going to be having the finale tomorrow night, so be sure to check that out. And then the same group, the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group, they're actually going to be running an IROC series same night starting next week, Thursday at 8:15. So really looking forward to that. And then this Friday, we're actually going to be racing at North Wilkesboro Speedway with Tim's Corners Motorsports, putting on a special event. So very, very cool to have that going on. And you can actually check out our schedule, Vidane.net, click on the VidaneTV, and you can go down to TV broadcast. It pulls up a nice calendar with the names of all the different leagues, all the different races that we're going to be hosting, and man, we're jam-packed. This is actually night 4 of a 10-night-in-a-row stretch where we've had live broadcasts here on VidaneTV. So, man, it's been busy, Wes.
It has, and you know, it's been an honor to call the races for these drivers that we've been able to call for, going on a 15-night streak. So, Jennifer Brinson says, poor Paul, he has been busy. Look, if Paul's not hitting buttons, he's probably sitting somewhere in his house drinking beer and watching old wrestling videos. So he's getting an opportunity to do something.
Well, it's one of those things I'd be doing it anyway. Usually I'd be watching videos on YouTube, but now I'm making videos on YouTube. So Daytona Dodge Pace truck in, green flag in the air, 2 laps to go at the line. Ryan Matthews with the restart, heading on down into turn number 1, 3-car length lead. Battle is for 4th.
Ryan, it looks like we might be able to get through 3 and 4 here clean. Let's see as these drivers battle it on down. The 03 gets in contact with Blake Clauser. Blake Clauser straightens him out. We say green. Next flag will be the checkered. 1 to go for Ryan Matthews.
Final lap now on the big shake-up. Ryan Borgs has dropped a couple of positions as Nick Snyder has jumped up to 2nd. Not going to have enough time to get him, I don't. Ryan Matthews off turn number 4, 2nd win in a row in this series. Ryan Matthews does it again here at New Smyrna ahead of Nick Snyder, and Ryan Borges battles back for 3rd, but Ryan Matthews' 2nd win in a row, 2nd win of the series. He'll now be your point leader, and he finishes off a wild race here at the New Smyrna Speedway.
Matthews tried to he kind of tried to sandbag and qualify to get a better qualifying start. Instead, he had actually battled through the heat races, won his heat race, started 11th, and moved on to battle his way through the pack and bring home the win. So Ryan Matthews will be your winner here tonight with a hard-fought battle. 2nd place being Nick Snyder, Ryan Borgs following 3rd. So we have a sole leader now in points, I would say.
Yep, looks like Ryan Matthews with the win here tonight. Going to be the sole point leader going into week number 4. We'll see the street stocks with us here next Wednesday night. And we'll see if Ryan Matthews, who is going to get a little assistance here from Ray Holmes in victory lane, as he gets a nudge there. But yes, Ryan Matthews now 2 wins in a row, winning 2 out of 3. He won the Esports 100 back here about a month ago. So Ryan Matthews, the man to beat here in the New Smyrna Speedway World Series of Esports.
All right, guys, we're going to take 30 to 60 seconds here to pause, and then we're going to catch up with 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Paul, go ahead and roll something for 60 seconds. I know you got something in there. All right, guys, we are back here at VidaneTV, wrapping up a week 3 of the new Smyrna series, new Smyrna Speedway Edgewater Screens eRacing series. I'm gonna have to shorten that up somehow or another. So we're gonna grab a quick word with our top 3. Ryan Matthew or Ryan Stevens. If you want to start with Nick Snyder, Nick, you got to
Yes, sir.
brought home second place. Nick, walk us through your this eventful, drama-filled night. Walk us through how you were able to bring home that top 2 finish.
Definitely wasn't easy. You know, I had to come from the back. I think twice. I got caught up in someone else's stuff. You know, it's just at that point now you just got to be patient. You know, I rode around 15th for the longest time, and then everyone just else took themselves out, kind of, and we just kind of snuck by for a top 2 finish.
Man, there's a little bit of drama there up front. Saw a driver do something that you typically don't want to see. How were you able to make it through that? What was your
Ah, you know, it's just checking up early and hopefully that you don't get running from behind. You know, when that guy came off of pit road and took out majority of the field, you know, I got involved in it. And that's why I got my right front damage, and it was just kind of hard to make passes on people, just because it just wouldn't turn to center anymore. I'm surprised we got second and was able to hold it, but that damage just killed us.
Man, I know in real life you got a lot of people that help you make things happen. I know that you can't get racing right now, Ryan or Nick. And tell us a little bit about you. What do you race in real life, and give out your thanks.
What I race in real life is 360 sprint cars. I've been doing that for the past 5 years. I'm switching over to the late models at New Smyrna for racing for Jamie Skinner at the RCS. Just trying to learn as much as I can by racing on here and testing with them as much as I can. And you know, Jamie is a great guy to go to. He's won many races. He's a good mentor to me, and I just think I can get the job done for him.
All right, man. We love it when you show up. You always put on a good show. Next week, Street Stocks. You got anything for that 51 ride?
The rate that he's going right now, probably not. He's very good and fast. Let's not forget about that part. It's just, it seems like every time that I get to second is at the very end of the race, and you know, he's always starting up front, so he can manage the pace. Or meanwhile, I'm burning off the tires and trying to get to him, and he just has a little bit more than me.
All right, man. Well, it was good to have you here, and hopefully we'll see you next week to take another shot at Ryan Matthews. Congratulations on your finish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for having me.
Right, and we have a chance. Ryan Stevens with third place. Ryan Borgs.
Hey, Ryan, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Ryan, another good finish for you, man. You're right up there with Ryan Matthews once again. We talked about both of you guys in the pre-show, and we knew you guys would rise to the top. And with just a couple to go, you're side by side with Ryan Matthews. You guys were tied coming into the points into this evening's race. Did that cross your mind at all going into those final couple of restarts?
I mean, a little bit, not really. I was just kind of concerned about getting a good jump and trying to stay even with him. I know he was probably, again, he was probably the dominant car of the field. I don't think I really had anything for him. I was kind of lucky to get back all the way up to second after I got involved in a wreck, I think, on the first lap again for the second straight week, and I kind of had to claw my way back and avoid a bunch of incidents and wrecks and angry drivers and whatnot. So by the time I got back up to second, I was just kind of happy with where I was. I mean, it's not that I didn't want to go for the win. I just didn't think I really had anything for Ryan in the first place all night. But no, I wasn't really thinking about points. I was just kind of thinking about getting another solid finish.
It's amazing to me, no matter where you guys start on the grid, you guys always get up there. How do you avoid, I guess, the carnage that goes on during these races?
I I don't really have an answer for that. I guess it's just kind of a little bit of good fortune. I guess kind of experience of knowing like who you're around maybe. I mean, not that I've raced a ton with all these guys, but just kind of getting used to who's getting mad at who and who's like, running a little faster than other guys and who's inconsistent and sometimes getting in the wall and whatnot, and just kind of gauging all that and gauging, I guess, kind of if there's a wreck up ahead, I feel like I'm pretty good at avoiding them. So I guess just experience, I guess. I don't really have a straight answer for how I've missed all these wrecks, though.
It sounds to me like you kind of run your own race and just let the chips fall as they will. But with your experience, it proves week in and week out, you know what you're doing, and here you are with another great finish.
Yeah, it was good. I just still have nothing for Matthews. I wish I would have put in a little more practice for this week. I think the first time I actually ran the car was about 25, 30 minutes into the 60-minute practice session. So I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
mean,
that would have helped me, but yeah, he's
he's incredible. He's incredible on restarts. Each and every time when he was out in front, we get a restart, and he'd have everybody by 3-4 car lengths. How can you even contend with that? What do you need to practice to kind of even get on his level, especially on these restarts?
I think he's definitely really good at changing up where he goes each time. I don't think whenever I've been lined up with him side by side, he never goes at the same time. Sometimes he'll go right away. Sometimes he'll wait right to the end of the box. Sometimes he'll go in the middle. Sometimes he'll make you think he's going to start, and then he'll go a little later and screw up bad. But it's tough. I mean, even in real life, it's tough. But I think it's sometimes even harder on iRacing, especially if you're racing with the single screen, or even if you're not racing with the single screen. It's just you don't get that full feel of like lining up side by side with someone. So I feel like that really plays into it, and people can really get good starts on here. But he's really good at it, no doubt.
Yeah, he is. But you've been very good in this series as well. And how do you feel going into next week with switching back to street stocks?
I mean, I'm confident. I'm not thinking I'm gonna go out and dominate or anything like that. But I pretty fairly confident I'll be quick again. I'll have speed because I don't know. I've just like I said, I have a lot of experience racing all these cars on iRacing. I think I've been on here at least 7 years or so. Um, So, I mean, I'm confident. I'm not expecting Ryan Matthews to be any slower than he is, and I know a couple of guys the first time we ran street stocks were pretty quick, so I know I'll have my work cut out for me, but should be fun.
Well, hey, man, congratulations on another great run here tonight. We look forward to seeing you back here next week.
Cool, thank you. Just gotta shout out RPM Motorsports and the Northern Senior Champ Kart Series, and yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting. New Smyrna for showing it. Um, Obviously, there's a lot of angry drivers tonight, but all the races in general have been pretty good. So I'm sure next week will be a little.
Yeah, hopefully things will get cleaned up a little bit next week. But we thank you and congratulations.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that will leave us next to your winner, ladies and gentlemen, and that will be Ryan Matthews as we bring him down. Ryan Stevens is with Ryan Matthews. Ryan,
Yes, sir.
this is with you.
Ryan, congratulations once again, man. We were comparing you to Ron Horner here tonight with those restarts. The last couple of weeks watching you, especially when you're at the front of the field, it's incredible to watch. How do you get those great restarts?
Yeah, like legend car racing in real life, it's a lot of it's about uh, restarts, getting good jumps, getting a good advantage, and just over the time. Justin Leduc, he actually spots for me in real life and on iRacing. He helps me out a lot with restarts. He's really good with those, so he's kind of just taught me what to do on the restarts and what makes them so good. So um, just using that to my advantage. I usually pull like 4 or 5 car links on the restarts. So
Yeah, I was thinking at this point, people might start catching on to your tricks and catching up to you here a little bit. And tonight you started 11th. You actually had to race in the heat races, which was interesting. But man, once you got out in front, you just dominated. It seems like you have a stranglehold on this series.
yeah, the supers are pretty much my strength. I don't really know how I drive them. I just do it. A lot of people ask me like where I'm braking or where I'm getting back in the throttle. What am I doing wrong? And I literally like can't answer them because I don't go off of. I just go off of ear and I just drive it. I don't have any any breaking points. But yeah, we drove through the field, had a little contact with the leader, net code. I think I finished the race with 4x, so someone hit me, but that incident with the leader was all net code, and I know he's pretty mad at me. And I would be too if that happened to me and I lost the lead like that. But no, it's just one of them deals where iRacing has those netcode issues sometimes, and you can't really do anything about it. But yeah, after he got out to the lead, kind of just like we did last week, kind of went 75%, conserved our stuff, pulled a good gap on him, and we had like 1 or 2 green white checkers, just got a good restart, and I knew if I did that, then they wouldn't have anything for me.
So now, do you have to worry about Brandon Moore 56 car the rest of the series? Do you think he'd pay you back, or do you think he's going to understand the whole net code?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty fast. There's no telling what he's going to do. I tried apologizing to him and telling him what I saw from my view, and he didn't agree with me at all. And he kept on bringing the situation up throughout the whole race. So I'm sure he's not over it, and hopefully he doesn't retaliate. But hopefully I'm too far out in front of him, so he doesn't have the chance to.
Well, next week, back to the street stocks, which from what we've seen so far, not your favorite thing. Have you done any practice on those things since the last couple of races?
No, I haven't really practiced in anything for this series. I kind of just show up and run, but definitely put in a lot more work. Definitely wasn't happy with I think it was 9th place finish that I got the first race. That set us back a lot, so I'll definitely be putting a lot more laps in this week, and hopefully we can improve and get our 3rd one in a row.
Well, all eyes are going to be on you next week when we switch over to the street stocks. But congratulations again tonight. Another dominating performance. You were a lot of fun to watch. Maybe next week we'll start you, or next time we run supers or modifieds or whatever, we'll start you back in 20th so we can move to the field. It's been fun to watch, man. Congratulations again. Anybody you'd like to shout out? Any sponsors, anything like that?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to James River Nurseries. They came on board for this season. Unfortunately, it hasn't really started yet, but hopefully it'll start up pretty soon and we can get them in Victory Lane. My dad at S&M Auto Service, Carbon Racing Solutions, Hamilton Forest Products, and my mom at Denise Matthews Real Estate. And thank you all for putting this on. I really appreciate it.
And we appreciate you as well, and congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your winner, Ryan Matthews, one more time. And the only thing that he hasn't won yet is a street stock. So we should see what happens there. So, Paul, an eventful night tonight. What do we got coming up this week?
An eventful night tonight, and absolutely, man, that Ryan Matthews oozes confidence like Rowdy West Hogue oozes French fry grease. I really want some French fries now, though. It's kind of messed up. I'm a little bit jealous. But anyway, great race here tonight at New Smyrna tomorrow night. The newly named, the newly branded, the newly sponsored Shift North Series. They're going to be running the Arkham Menards Car Championship night finale, final race of the season. John Peters already wrapped up the championship in that 51 machine with all the wins he's had, but still going to be an exciting, good, clean race tomorrow night. Friday night, we actually take our very first visit to the virtual New Wilkesboro Speedway with Tim's Corner Motorsports special event. That's going to be at 7:30. Saturday, Sunday, both in the 3 o'clock in the afternoon time slot. We're going to be running with Carter's iRacing series. Those guys run road races in a different variation of cars, vehicles, and things like that. And man, they put on some great shows. Kenneth O'Keefe dominating the series right now. He actually won the doubleheader this past weekend. And then Saturday night, we're going to be running back with Tim's Corner Motorsports, another special event. Graphic is incorrect. That's going to be a 6:30 p.m. Eastern time start. And then Sunday night, East Coast Winter League. We're going to be visiting them with the SK Modifieds at Stafford Motor Speedway. And those guys run at prime time at 9 o'clock at night. So be sure to check that out. And just announced today on Facebook Monday night next week, doubleheader, another doubleheader, because that's kind of our thing here at VidaneTV. Actually, with Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that's a triple doubleheader for us. Holy moly. But in any sense, the New England, Pennsylvania guys, the iRacing group, they're going to be putting on the Better Half Better Half Dash. And that is essentially the wives and girlfriends of all the guys that run that race. 30 laps, no damage, no cautions, no rules. Going to find out who the toughest girl is going to be there. So that's going to be fun to watch. And Monday night, we've got the Florida Truck Series as well. But a lot of action here tonight, and we mentioned it earlier. This is night number 4 of a 10-week or a 10-night-in-a-row stretch where we've got live programming here on VidaneTV. So we could not be any more happier. But be sure, all the social media rules, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, share our videos, like the videos, all that good stuff, and drop us a comment. Criticism, constructive criticism, good things, bad things, things you may want to see later on, things you want to see less of. We're always open door policy here at VidaneTV. But thank you guys so much for checking us out here tonight for the Edgewater Screens New Smyrna World Series of Esports. We're going to wrap it up, get things packed away, unpack them tomorrow night where we do it live here on VidaneTV. Thank you so much for coming out. We will see you very soon.